Okay, I should keep that turned down. I just want to enjoy the Mario. And Dire Docks and whatever the other level's called, I can't remember. Welcome back to Middara, everybody. I actually had a little bit of a technical issue when I loaded in my save file. I think I fixed it, but the rulebook was just a large white square. And it wasn't loading, and I couldn't do anything with it. So I was going to import another rulebook and then delete this one, but it seems like it creates some potential scripting errors. I happened to pop it out on a whim, and then I switched the page number, just like this, and then it fixed. So, I don't know what was going on, but if you ever get a white box here, try popping it out and then switching the page number to refresh the page. It actually worked. I was a little worried, because I mean, I can look at the custom and go to this Dropbox file, so I could have just downloaded it. But I was thinking if this was bugged, it's probably off the internet and it's not referencing it properly anymore. Anyway, thankfully we don't have to deal with that issue. It's been a few days. So. Had a good little break from Middara. It's mostly because I guess my sleep schedule is appropriate, but I've been going to bed early. And since I'm going to bed early... Oh, I never updated my things. We have Bulky, Ethereum, Masterwork, and Dark. Bulky, Ethereum, Masterwork, Dark. So, yeah, anyway, we're gonna resume some Middara. I've been excited to play, I haven't had my usual time to play. And since it's been a little while, I'll probably forget some things. It's been like 2 days, so forgive me in advance. But we're done with the side quest. I think I can attempt the bounty again because I did the side quest, so we got back to the story round. Unless, again, I'm still not sure if it means one bounty per Ramstead exploration, so we need to get to the next one. Anyway, I'm not going to attempt the bounty again. Anyway, it was... well, you guys know. I think it was doable, except the final area with the animates and the boss hitting 5s and 6s on dice non-stop. That's just too high of odds. We want at least 50% chance to hit and cause damage. It'll also help if I have slightly better defense on my tank. But, yeah, we're gonna go to page 87 and do Murdered Informant instead. Excuse me. Main quest. Oh, we have Grace Jeong, the Zeke's cousin. We got the piercings, we got the bod, everybody's all slim and slender and good looking in this game. Alright, anyway. Let me pause the RPGN radio, which I just defaulted to as Nintendo Radio. Usually on the weekends they seem to be down, and they are down. It's Saturday today. Hopefully the playlist is still loaded. This is main quest, Murdered Informant. I don't know where we're at here. So I'm gonna try this one. Oh, good.
Sneaking into the crime scene. They didn't go far from Malik's manor. They walked to the nearest central intersection where a great stone balcony protected pedestrians from an impressive drop down into the city's lower tiers and towards the ocean.
No, this is sneaking into the crime scene. Hold on a second. That's not what we want. We want main quest, Murdered Informant. Yeah, we want this one.
Main quest. Murdered Informant.
There we go.
They stopped at a street vendor for dinner before making their way back to Malik's mansion. Remy recognized Malik's personal guard even from a distance. There were at least half a dozen men congregating outside the mansion. Every one of them wore black cloaks, or black armor, or black masks. "What do you think's going on?" Nightingale asked, her voice barely a whisper. "Do you think we should come back later, maybe?" Remy thought about it for a few seconds, then shook her head. "No. Everybody stay close. I'll get you in." Remy advanced purposefully towards the front door. squaring her shoulders and not looking away from the door. It didn't work. One of the men stepped in front of her, blocking the door with broad shoulders. "Sorry, you can't come in." "Like hell I can't." Remy ducked under one of his arms. "It's my house." As big as he was, the man seemed surprised by her determination. He actually dodged out of her way, and Remy was able to shove on the door. It was unlocked and swung in with the violence of her pressure. None of the house servants were in the entryway, though there were a few startled guards. They moved as though to lift their weapons. Remy glowered at them. "What are you going to do? Attack me? Doesn't my family pay you to protect us?" One of the guards whispered to the other, and they both relaxed. Then they lowered their weapons, reluctantly getting out of her way. "A little fiery, aren't we?" Zeke mused in awe that Remy could be so commanding. "Well, it's my place. I should be able to come and go as I please," Remy said with a quick glance back at him. "Fair enough," Zeke replied. Remy still remembered the
The
house, and so she had no trouble
PG-13
leading the
voice
way.
actress.
She could hear voices from further
Our
in,
reader.
probably the courtyard. One was her father's, though she couldn't place the identity of the other one, but it was a female voice. "It couldn't have been an accident," the woman said. "Whoever took it knew at least one of the combinations. The evidence for that was clear enough from what was left. We need to make the firmest possible action before the situation gets away from us. They might bring the thing to my estate next." The female voice was practically screeching. "What we can't do is tip our hand," Malik replied. "There are too many in the city who would seize on such a visible sign of weakness. Our reaction must be firm and swift, but not panicked." Around the first corner was a set of wide doors leading into the courtyard. As Remy rounded them, she suddenly had an uninterrupted view. Her father stood beside one of the fountains, and at his side a sleazy-looking girl was talking to him. She was dressed quite casually, and her clothing resembled something someone would wear on Earth. Ripped jeans and a half-open leather top. She was lithe and thin, with full-sleeve tattoos of twisting plants rising up both her arms. Her hair was bright green, and a pair of pointed vulpine ears emerged from the side of her head. "Dad, what's going on?" Remy called from the doorway, glancing inside. There were 2 more guards inside, though they wore white and blue colors and flanked the woman instead of her father. "Remy, you're safe." Malik looked over at her, and Remy made her way over. Her father embraced her with noticeable relief. "Thank God you're okay. Grace Jong said she hadn't seen you, and I was worried." "We're fine." Remy looked up at the stranger, confused. "Grace Jong? I didn't even know she was actually expecting us. How would she have even known we were here?" "I know everything that happens in my city." The thin girl had turned towards Remy now. "Circumstances have occurred that made me and Malik worry for your safety, but I can see that you're perfectly fine." Remy blushed and then tried to straighten herself for a formal bow. "Duchess, I didn't know it was you. If I had known, I would—" Grace cut her off with a short tone. "Oh, please, save the bullshit formalities for the puffed-up royalty of Alenia. They have no place here." Grace looked past Remy, finally noticing her companions. "Zeke, is that you?" Zeke simply nodded. He hadn't recognized Grace and realized at that moment that even if she was supposedly present for his arrival to Middara, he didn't even remember seeing her before. "Cousin!" Grace squealed, her tone changing from deadly serious to jovial. "Malik told me you were here. He said you were headed to my castle to stay the night. You really should have visited." Zeke returned an awkward hug. "We found an inn we liked before we made it. We likely would have come by eventually." "No doubt. And you—" Grace had noticed Zeke's other female companion, and she extended a hand to Nightingale. "You're Balthazar's youngest, if I'm not mistaken." Nightingale took the offered hand, though she didn't get a chance to say anything. Remy met her father's eyes again. "What's with all the guards?" "There's been a murder in Romstead." Malik's expression darkened. There was a moment of shocked silence. "Murder?" Remy stammered. "You can't be serious." Rook hadn't been introduced, but even so, he seemed to notice the informality of the meeting. "Nobody would kill another human being when they could live forever." Grace finished for him. "Oh, they would. Don't be naive. There are scoundrels with little moral compunction here, just like back on Earth. As Duchess of Romstead, seeing their punishment as swift and brutal as possible is my responsibility. She frowned disapprovingly at them. You should have stayed at my castle last night, where there are guards and high walls. It's worse than just a murder, Malik added, addressing his daughter directly. Sweetie, the man who was murdered was one of my information brokers, the one I rely on for information about exotic magic. Whoever killed him got away with all kinds of important documents. I'm afraid that finding anything about Theodosian is going to be much harder now. Remy was frozen for a moment, unable to respond. Nightingale's life depended on learning the truth about Theodosian, and her best hope for finding it had just been murdered. Well then, we'll just have to track down the one who did it. We've already fought dozens of monsters. What's a few more? Malik's expression twisted with a wave of mixed emotions. I promised your mother I wouldn't get you involved in all this. Let me handle this. There is danger here you can't imagine. I'm not going to sit by and watch my friend die because some asshole stole the papers we need. Remy put a hand on her hip and tried not to look frail in the presence of her father. Grace interjected, sounding annoyed. Watch your friend die? Nightingale shot Remy an angry glance, and Remy realized what she had just said. Remy sheepishly looked over and saw that both her father and Grace were looking at her, expecting an explanation. It's really important we find more about Theodosian. Nightingale's life might depend on it, Remy pleaded. What? Grace's eyes went wide. Where is Balthazar in all this? Why is his daughter in such a perilous position? He'd have our heads if he even knew she was in this room. If we got Nightingale killed by letting her quest on her own, we'd be lucky if our heads were the only ones the arsons took. Malik nodded in agreement. Grace is right, Remy. You can't get involved. If anything happened to any of you, it would mean trouble for all of us. Please, just let us take care of it. If we hear anything, we'll let you know. Remy glared back. Yeah? She glanced over her shoulder at her friends. They all watched her, including Nightingale. She was obviously trying to hide it, but there was a look of desperation in Nightingale's eyes. It was more than Remy could stand. Fine. Whatever. You just take care of it then. She turned away. Find me if you change your mind. We'll just stay out of your way. She stormed past her friends, dragging Nightingale by her wrist. They followed her out the doors of the room and around a corner. Remy! Malik yelled after her, but she kept moving, ignoring her father. She didn't hear the rest of what Malik had to say because by then she'd already made it to the front door. She held it open for her friends before slamming it shut and glaring at the guards, daring them to try to make her stay. They didn't. Sneaking into the crime scene. They didn't go far from Malik's manor. They walked to the nearest central intersection where a great stone balcony protected pedestrians from an impressive drop down into the city's lower tiers and towards the ocean. Nightingale found it hard to appreciate the view just now. Malik's informant had been murdered, and with him, her own future might be dead too. She turned her back on the ocean, facing her concerned friends. Well, we obviously can't wait. She tried to keep the desperation and fear out of her voice, though she wasn't sure she'd done a convincing job. You're right, Rook said. So what should we do? Find another informant somewhere else? No, Nightingale replied. This one apparently already had what we needed. There might not be anybody else in the whole damn kingdom who knows about Theodosian magic. Zeke looked out of the ocean. Maybe not. But how can we find a killer the authorities can't? I can take you there. A horrible voice inside of Nightingale's head resonated. It sounded like a thought, except that it wasn't her own. There was a distinctly alien quality about it, one that produced an involuntary wave of nausea along with it. Startled by the voice, Nightingale jumped back, striking the stone railing with her tail. She didn't fall, though it did sting painfully where she'd hit her tail. She looked around, but found only her friend staring at her. Theodosian leaves a stain on your world wherever it goes, much like humans do. With each new word, a wave of nausea hit Nightingale, making her feel unsteady. How could a thought sound so smug, so full of itself? She wanted to hit something, but the only thing in front of her was Zeke looking dumbly at her behind a cigarette. Why don't you come out so I can kick your ass? Nightingale said with a panicked voice. Zeke looked around and then back to the princess. Night? Are you okay? She stumbled and clung to Zeke's arm so that she wouldn't fall. It's talking to me, Nightingale said, feeling sick. Her friends all glanced at each other, their eyes full of worry. Night? Zeke mumbled, putting an arm around her. Are you okay? Nightingale didn't say anything. After a few moments of silence from the Malama, Nightingale regained her composure and stood without Zeke's help. It's talking to you? The Malama? Rook asked, glancing around them nervously as if the creature would appear at any moment. Nightingale nodded, her eyes wide. I heard it back in Balthazar's study. I was hoping that it was just... She shook her head and trailed off. What did it say? Rook was curious, though he felt a little bad about it. It doesn't matter. It's gone now. I'm okay. Nightingale's color slowly started to return to her face. Zeke looked concerned, but he didn't ask about the voice in her head. Instead, he proposed a plan. I suggest we just find out where the murder happened. Zeke wearily watched Nightingale, his cigarette drooping to one side of his mouth. My cousin rules this city, right? And if the murder is such a big deal, I bet everybody is talking about it. We could just ask around and see where it happened. The crime scene should be a good place to start. Nightingale nodded. Maybe we'll get lucky and the murderer left behind the info we need. It seemed like wishful thinking, but Nightingale didn't much mind. They found the informant's house after less than an hour of searching. Zeke had been right. All he had to do was ask, and anyone who knew his family was happy to point them in the right direction. They found the house on one of the lowest levels of the city, only just above the ocean itself. Unfortunately, when they arrived, the house was guarded. Outside, its doors were flanked by 2 men, though they were clearly not with the city watch. They wore the same black as Malik's house guards and lurked near the house instead of standing out in the open. You guys wait here. Remy slid her tools away, straightening herself. I'll talk to the guards, then let you in from the inside. Rook frowned. Are you sure, Remy? Those aren't city guards and it's already dark. You sure they won't try something? She nodded. They're Black Hand. They'll know Malik's daughter even if they never met me. They'll listen. What's the Black Hand? Zeke asked, glancing once around the corner at the guards. Sounds like a shady group. It's my dad's organization. Remy's confidence faltered at Zeke's mention of them being shady. I know my dad's in charge of the group. I think they must be spies or private contractors for the aristocracies. She shook her head vigorously. We have bigger problems right now. You guys hold on. Remy left them. Yeah, that's not a super shady response. Zeke scratched at the back of his head, watching Remy approach the Black Hand guards from afar. Her dad looks like a supervillain, and he has henchmen? That's strike 2, I think. Rook held up a hand with an angry shushing noise, and Zeke went silent. They watched as Remy strode out onto the street, walking straight for the door. Excuse me, you two, she called. I have a message from my father, Malik. Nightingale watched a few minutes of tense conversation from behind a stunted shrub, not moving so as to blend into the shadows. Zeke and Rook waited beside her, all 3 of them ready to spring to Remy's aid if she needed it. She didn't, and soon enough the guards left in a hurry. After they'd left, Remy entered the house and a long minute passed before her face appeared from the now open front door. She waved at them urgently to come towards her. No way! Good job! Nightingale said as she moved towards Remy. What did you tell those guards to get them to leave? Nightingale stopped talking as she neared Remy and saw her face. It was pale, and Remy's eyes were wide, irises lost in her round pupils. Nightingale was about to ask what was wrong when the stench hit her, and she nearly doubled over to retch. The odor was heady, and so thick she could practically see the haze floating through the house, like rotting, half-cooked meat left out long enough to get maggoty. Sweet Jesus, what is that? Zeke sounded just as queasy as Nightingale felt. It looks worse than it smells, Remy answered, her voice barely a squeak. She wasn't lying. As the group shut the door behind them, Nightingale had to pause to take in the gruesome sight. If Nightingale imagined what it might be like for someone to explode from the inside, she wouldn't have been far off. Blood and bits of flesh coated every surface of the small front room, It was concentrated around a desk and chair in a series of gruesome splatters. Where much of the wreckage was mercifully blended gore, there were frighteningly human pieces scattered about too. Some bits looked like they'd almost been cooked, while others were raw and had flies buzzing around them in low circles. Nightingale found a clean corner of the house to vomit. She spent several minutes hyperventilating, trying and failing to ignore the smell. When she finally returned to where her friends were, she found them investigating. They were huddled around a black ledger. Behind them, Surrey was floating and reading the ledger over Rook's shoulder. Surrey was still formed of light, and the violet glow she brought made the room even more ghastly. Nightingale swayed a bit as she listened to Rook read. Anzu of the pure waters recovered 19 talents of gold. Pascal's scepter of rubies. Lord Beer, one carved puzzle. Surrey cut him off. Those names should not be here, she flowed across the room, glancing about. Rook, these names came from my realm. Every one of them has been killed. On Middara? Zeke frowned down at the list. There are that many of you here? She nodded. We are all subject to the rules of this world in different ways. Those are all dark names, but that does not justify the way they died. Blue storm clouds seemed to roll about Surrey's feet, cracking with thunder that didn't produce sound. That might be property stolen from the dead. Dangerous spoils, Rook. Your kind should not tamper with the possessions of creatures like these. Rook shut the book, tucking it away into a massive pocket. So what? This guy was peddling rare and dangerous artifacts? Maybe someone or something killed him for the artifacts. Rook glanced around the room. I mean, I don't see any of them here. Zeke shrugged. I'd rather think about this outside. Good idea. Remy still looked pale as she led the way towards the door. I could use some fresh air. They were almost to the back door when something crashed from below the house. A faint female voice sounded from somewhere just below the floorboards, though Nightingale couldn't make out the words. Rook pointed silently to a scuffed patch of the floor just in front of them. He reached down and pulled sharply on an uneven junction between two floorboards. A hatch swung open, revealing a ladder down into the gloom. The interior might be dark, but it was thankfully devoid of blood. There was no need for deliberation. Nightingale followed Rook down the ladder, Remy and Zeke just behind her. It led to a cellar bigger than the whole house above it. Shelves had been carved into the walls and all were full. Hello? Nightingale called into the dark, stepping forward a little. Is someone there? She already had her weapon drawn. After all, this might very well be the killer. Hello? Someone replied from the darkness, imitating Nightingale's fearful tone perfectly. Is someone there? They froze, and then a female form contorted within the darkness. It walked strangely, jerking and stumbling along. With a snap of her fingers, the cellar lit in a purple glow as huge eyes opened seemingly from nowhere. Boss fight.
Alright, hold up. So we got boss fight and melody just happening here. That's exciting. It's kind of cool looking. If this is melody. I want to go back. There's, so we had Grace Jeong, picture-wise. We had this thing, which I don't remember hearing a mention of this. It looks kind of like a weapon. Not sure what that thing is. I think those were the only picks. Then we have the sword here. Don't know whose sword that is or what import they have. Alright. Well, this says boss fight melody. Is it gonna read this part?
Melody. Strange eyes hover
It
in the
is.
darkness. They eerily watch in silence while emanating a purple glow that shines across the damp wooden floor of the cellar. The woman on the far end of the cellar contorts inhumanly and stares in your direction.
Okay. So, we'll end that here. Let's get the music going. There's a lot of reading for the beginning of this. Oof. Not too bad. When we load up, we have boss fight. A little cellar room. There's a bunch of eye tokens and Melody herself. Win con, Melody is defeated. Lose con, we are defeated. Special encounter rules. Melody, the subjugated oblation. When setting up this encounter, reveal small and large hidden cards in 5 to access her initiative and intelligent combatant cards are already here. I'll open the pack just to draw them out and then put it in this thing too. Let's do UM5. Because why not? There's something else added. Her figure is probably on the board. Melody. Wonder if she looks like she could be a player character, potentially. I never know how do you remove the HP bar from this. Because it doesn't like... I think the figure has to be gone, right? No, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just gonna pop it in there so we have it. We're gonna pop this in the initiative thing so we have it. Just in case I need to copy those, we'll read what she does later. Let's keep reading this. These cards will be used during this encounter when Melody is defeated. Read the following hidden text. Ambushed. When setting up this encounter, after dealing the initiative cards, move Melody forward 1 spot on the initiative track. I'll just do that now. Alright, she's first anyway. Eyes of Magdalene. These tokens represent the magical presence of an otherworldly being Melody has brought to this realm. These tokens may be targeted by attacks and spells as though they were a figure. In addition, an adventurer may occupy their space and may target them while occupying their space. They have 5 HP, 10 defense, no armor, and a conviction value of 2 purple. Eyes of Magdalene, do not make break attacks and do not drop combatant loot. If Melody ever places an Eye of Magdalene, players roll 2 purple and consult the chart below to determine how many tokens are placed. Okay. So 5 HP, 10 defense. I'm gonna make this custom. I can probably keep track of them individually, HP wise. It might be better if I do that. I just want some quick reference. 5 HP, 10 defense, no armor. So I'm gonna put them below her. Alright. We got 10 defense for the Magdalene. We got 5 HPs. Anytime I do damage to one, I'll just make a copy of this thing. Got 30 health. Alright. 6 movement, 2 red combat dice. That's a tier above us. Anyway, anytime tokens are placed, players always place the first eye token on tile UM69 on the farthest space possible from adventurers. Then they place the second eye, if required, on UM71 on the farthest space possible from adventurers. There may never be more than 4 on the board. Alright. So I need to do some eye control. At the start of Melody's first turn, choose a random adventure and read the following hidden text. Okay, from another dimension. The first time Melody has damage tokens placed on her card, after placing any eye tokens, read the following hidden text. Okay, loot level is common. Let's set that up. Give it a shuffle. And then there's nothing else. So, seems simple enough. What do you do, Melody? The Eyes of Magdalene. Melody has Nimble, so she gets a free dodge every turn. Melody draws line of sight as though she occupies the same space as all Eyes of Magdalene, in addition to the space she occupies. When Melody would be dealt damage and there are still Eyes of Magdalene on the board, reduce that damage to 0. Okay, so we have to deal with the eyes. If damage was reduced to 0 this way, deal 1 irreducible damage to all Eyes of Magdalene instead. After Melody is dealt damage, place an Eye of Magdalene on the board. We gotta, like, hit her for really big numbers once we clear the eyes. Doesn't seem too bad. Are there no opponents adjacent? Cast a spell 6 against all opponents within line of sight. Inflict condemn. What the fuck? She just condemns? Oh man, we might get wrecked. So she's gonna do that on the first turn. And she will have line of sight. Not with this, but with this one. Because we start here, right? Let's get our starting positions. This is gonna be problematic. If she hits me with condemn, I'm gonna need to immediately get rid of that shit. And then someone has to always be next to her. So Remy knows her job. Everyone else is on eye removal duty, I suppose. Okay. So if no one's adjacent, she will condemn everyone. If there is an opponent adjacent, she'll make a separate attack against each opponent within reach 2, then swap places with the farthest opponent within line of sight. Okay, so I need to mitigate that too. Is there an opponent within line of sight and this ability has not been used this encounter? Summon Exalted Esper Minos the Contractor against the opponent with the highest total armor value within line of sight. Wow, she can spam Exalted Espers? That's cool, I guess. Is there an opponent within line of sight? Cast spell 6 against the opponent with the lowest conviction value within line of sight. Roll 2 purple, 2 orange, and 2 red. Deal 1 magic damage per book rolled. What the fuck? Okay, she sounds cool. Interesting. So she summons the Exalted Esper Minos. We're gonna pull his card out to the side. He's right here, ironically enough. Alright, an opponent with an SOI is dealt magic damage equal to the number rolled using both of their conviction dice, then inflict condemn. I guess she changes the targeting rule because it's not with an SOI. She just kind of hits you with this. At least that's the way I'm reading it. At least I have pretty bad conviction dice. But the whole condemning thing. Let's go double check condemn. Condemn is just, yeah, you roll the black and if you get a skull you're dead. Alright, well, let's get started here then. She is first, Melody. Alright, hold up. Since we see she is first, I actually have... We have an item for this situation. Do we not? We have the Augur's Pager. At the start of a round after dealing initiative cards, move any card to the front or back of the initiative track. If I want a powerful first turn to try and circumvent a lot of this bullshit, I think we do this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And she's gonna run straight up to her. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna use the Augur's Pager. And we're gonna have her go last. Fuck you, Melody. Fuck you. So, Rook is first. I think let me make sure everyone is set up. I wanted to double check and make sure everyone's appropriate since last time. I haven't gotten around to doing that. Appropriate is in stats. But we have 14 HP normally. This is now 20 HP. Yeah, I don't know if something was giving me 2 HPs. Oh yeah, we're getting 2 from this. So we're at 22. That is correct. No armor. 2 defense, so 11 from 9. And then 2 movement. And I ignored the first penalty movement, so we are at 8. So that's good. And 62054, because we have a heavy thing. That should be correct. What items do you have? Oh, I have the BAM. Oh my. Nightingale. We have 12, 14, because of the 2 armor, because of the 2. We have 1 movement. So we should be at 7. Not 8. Why am I at 8? I don't know. I think we're at 7 movement, not 8 movement. But that was one of the things I need to correct before. No, I have 8 because I'm comboing range. That is correct. Weapon straps. And then defense is 10. I think we're good. Okay. Zeke, my man. We got +3, 15. +2, 11. 5 movement. I should be at 6 movement. I have +1 for occult shirt, so we were at 7. I have 1 heavy item, so we should be at 6. And their agility's at 3 instead of 4. 2, 2, 6, 4. You believe we are good? Alright, 18, 4 and 12 is 16, 17, 18 for the gene tweak, 2 defense, we're at 11, 2 armor, 3, 4 armor, nothing is heavy. And we have just 6 movement base, which I've been meaning to upgrade her, but you know, I need so much more money. Okay, I think we're good to go. Remy is next. Brooke is first. So, we need to kill all these eyes, and then every time I damage her, she'll make 1 or 2 more, and then we gotta kill those. And the first eye appears in tile UM69, which is her tile. Now, when I do end up hurting her, she's gonna move towards the farthest person. So, I think Zeke wants to occupy a tile here, and then Rook wants to occupy a tile here. And we want to try and stay central so I can go back and forth as she teleports. It might not be that hard. Rook is first thanks to her item. But there was another rule, right? Okay. We circumvented the ambush. We revealed her thing. To her eyes, a connection. At the start of her first turn, choose a random adventurer. So what I'm gonna do is this. Make your predictions now. Who does she make a connection with? Ladies and gentlemen. Who do you think? Place your guess. Remy, Rook, Zeke, Nightingale. Survey says she's made a connection with Remy. That could be problematic. I would have preferred anyone not the tank. Alright, Remy has a connection. You feel a strange, sinking feeling in your gut as ethereal strings tug at your very soul and stitch it to someone else's. Gain the tether token. This token cannot normally be removed. Cannot normally be removed would have worked. At the end of this encounter, or when the adventurer with the token is defeated, remove the tether token. Anytime Melody is dealt damage, you are dealt that much irreducible damage. Anytime Melody heals, you heal the same amount. Wow. But it doesn't say anytime I heal. He heals. So it's a one-way tether. Alright, the first time she takes damage tokens. After placing an I token, redeploying hidden attack. So you know what? This tether probably is the best that it's on Remy. If I get a tether token. I don't know what a tether token looks like. Ah, this thing. Remy is tethered to the boss. I get hurt when she gets hurt. I get healed when she gets healed. She's touched my soul. There's something else I wanted to do. Maybe, possibly. Alright. Gonna fucking cast this. Once. So she casts this once and then she does this constantly. I can't really tank her. The only thing I'm doing is preventing her from condemning everybody by staying adjacent to her. Hypothetically, if I get 2 really big hits with like Rook on her, once I deal with the eyes, then probably dies. So let's get started here. Rook, we're gonna Doom Break. I'm guessing this is a one-off scenario, so I can go all out. Double Doom Break. Let's see if they break. One is okay. Number 2 is okay. So we gain 2 SP, and I can do that again later. Then I'm gonna move. Oh man, this song. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna go here because they don't have break attacks. 4. I could save this for someone else. 5, 6, 7, 8. This would also keep me relatively safe from the condemn action if it happened to happen. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I'm gonna move here. I'll pay the extra SP. We're gonna go to this one. I'll do an attack on it. So 10 defense, we need to beat. We have our 2 teal. Maybe I can get some looty from this booty. We have a 7, we have a 5, that is a 12. We do beat 10 by 2. And then I have all these symbols. So this thing's probably crushed, right? Yeah, no armor. So 2 damage, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the passive. So we kill this eye. I do have 4 books, so we will gain a looty. 1 gold. I guess I'll leave this token up here because I'm gonna need him again. Do I have any stars? No. Is that how I want to end my turn? I was thinking if I could bam. We'll just end it there. I guess keeping the eyes under control is what we want to do. Remy's go. I am going to start by... Well, I need to get next to the boss. We'll do Proof of Divinity. I will target Zeke. We'll give him Courage. Then I'm gonna move. I'll activate my men tokens too. May as well do that. move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I'll get next to her on the first turn. I'll use... let me think about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I want to be here, so I have the +1 defense, right? But I provoke a break attack. We'll just stand in her face. It's not that big of a deal. That's all my SP, so I can't give out haste this turn. How does this work? I'm reading the top passive. I'm trying to figure out in my head. So, if she is dealt damage, right? I'm thinking of tapping my shield to bite her. She'll reduce it all to 0. I'll get to hurt the other 3 eyes for 1. But I don't know if it's worth it doing that. It says after she's dealt damage, place an Eye of Magdalene on the board. Does that include if she's dealt 0 damage? Because she wouldn't be dealt 0, she would have reduced it to 0. But I don't know if it's saying, alright, if she's reduced to 0, she's not dealt any damage, so I won't place the Eye. And instead, she just, like, okay. These would take damage and the 4th one wouldn't come back. I think that's what it's saying. She only spawns more when she takes damage. Alternatively, every time she gets hit, even when she reduces it to 0, she spawns an eye, which means you can't really abuse this thing, because you'll spawn the eyes. I guess if you wanted to, you could hurt her 5 times and then kill all 4 simultaneously, but I don't see why you would do that. They're really not strong. We'll end my turn there. I don't think I'm gonna bite her. Alright, next up is our boy Zeke. So, we're gonna do 2 things. One, I'm gonna move to here, I think. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. I have SOI to this tile. We're gonna spawn, I think, Elify, because we want to control Condemn over Zulfikar. Elify can do combat just as well as Zulfikar can, honestly, so we're gonna bring Elify into the fight. Hey, yeah, just make sure I can see everything at all times. That seems to be a non-issue. Alright, let's lock her there. Gonna summon Elify. Elify goes after Zeke. And we get 2 tokens. Right, I never unflipped this card. I just leave it flipped down, but... yeah, so we're gonna summon her. This card gets flipped. Then I'll do an attack on the eye. So we get, what, orange, teal, black? I'm gonna attack this eye down here. That's within reach 2. Alright, we have a 4 and a 4. It's only an 8. Doesn't hit a 10, unfortunately. I don't think I can do anything to alleviate that. So I will miss the eye. There's no penalty for me missing the eyes, right? I'm gonna throw dart at it since I missed it, and since I missed, I lost my courage token too. Not a good start. If I can get at least a 5 here, you know, that'd be great. That would make up for it. Alright, 7 damage to this eye. We kill it with a dart. So, that one is gone. I have no SP left to spend. This is not used. I forgot I had that. I probably should just use that up. Okay, I can always spend $4 and get a dart back. Next up, Elifie. So 3 and no damage on her. Let's do... Let's do Gore Shot first, because I could one-shot with Gore Shot. Gonna cast it on this eye. I have an 8. The eyes have 2 purple. Conviction. Yes, they have 2 purple. I guess I'm rolling for them. Alright, this thing rolled a 7 and a 5. That's not as good as a 6 and an 8. I have 14, they have 13. They have 12. So, they do get hit with Gore Shot. We will pay 2 HP to do plus 4 damage. That's 3 eyes dealt with already. And then I will spend... That cost me 2 HP. I'm gonna do Blood Barrier on Remy. Tokens are so big. Do a Blood Barrier. It would help if I want to do this every single time because I never remember how to do it. Toggles, grid, snap. Alright, I'm just gonna copy this one. Let me put the token where I fucking want it. Alright, we're in the Blood Barrier. So we'll take a damage that costs 1 SP. We shall add barrier onto her. I don't know why I picked this up. See, I haven't played in a while, so I don't know what I'm doing. This is here because she gives it out. We have barrier on her. What else do I do? I do dodge tokens. And scalpel. We'll sit tight here because I can see a lot of the room and support. Actually, you know what? I will move. Let's move. We've got like 3 people here. Zeke is in the middle. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. And stay here. This way I can help with if a second eye spawns, I can help deal with that. Nightingale, it is up to you to kill this other eye. So, they didn't say you can't Bone Shaker the boss into Oblivion. But okay, so she won't go into Oblivion, right? Bosses automatically pass the Bone Shaker. And she literally doesn't move. She would never walk into a pit. Alright, Melody. Okay, we're gonna move. I will go 1, 2, 3. We'll just stay here. I'm gonna do Gore Shot on this magic eyeball. So I literally just need this spell cast to work. 7, so that's a good high number. We have a 7 and 6, that's 13. Eyeball conviction is looking pretty bad, so it does work. I'll pay the 2 HP. She's now vulnerable. I did 6 damage to that total. And, dude, I need more items. Oh yeah, I'll use the Ring of Blood after I take damage to heal. What's her defense? It's 12. Like, when she teleports over to me, when I hit her. Alright. She's gonna make a melee attack on everyone in reach 2. Then swap places with the farthest opponent within line of sight. That's fine. Well, it's kind of not fine, because Rook has to get to her. Now, it's the farthest opponent within line of sight. I am, unfortunately, within line of sight. Right, I limited her line of sight now. So if I chose not to stand here, if I was intelligent, she wouldn't go over here, but that's okay. Because turn order next turn is a big thing too. She might warp twice. So this might be okay. Then she's gonna use Minos the Contractor against Remy. I guess it depends on where I place her. It says swap places. Right, swap places. That's a huge deal. It's actually gonna put Remy back here, yeah, so she'll be on the terrain. But I don't want her on the terrain. So instead of moving here, I'm gonna say I just moved here. This way she can't swap with me. It's just too advantageous to deny that from her. I'll leave her on the terrain because then she's gonna be in the middle and next to Zeke, which is pretty good for me as well. The main problem is once I get hit by Minos, I'm gonna need to heal that entirely. Or we just let Remy go down for the greater good. I don't know, it could be a bad thing if Remy, the tethered person, dies here. I need to tank 30 damage on top of the fact that Minos is gonna hit me. Alright, let's see what happens. Okay. We'll end their turn with that. I think that's fine. So, Melody goes, is there no opponents adjacent? That's not true, Remy is adjacent, so she skips that. Is there an opponent adjacent? She'll make a melee attack against me. No one else is in reach 2. We will dodge, of course. Alright, 4 shields, so +4, I'm at 15. She's at an 8 and 5, a 13, so I do dodge. I'm not the strongest person, but I could attack her here. It's best if I don't. I'm gonna go hard with Rook. So we do dodge. Then she will swap places with the farthest opponent within line of sight. So she's gonna do that, which is nice because LFE isn't there. And then is an opponent within line of sight and this ability has not been used this encounter. Summon Exalted Esper Minos the Contractor against the opponent with the highest total armor value within line of sight. That is Remy, straight across. So, an opponent with an SOI, we ignore that part. She's changing the rules to be within line of sight. So, ignore the SOI. Is dealt magic damage equal to the number rolled using both of their conviction dice, then inflict condemn. So, I have 2 white. You know, we're not like stupendously high. I can roll pretty low damage here. Ignore this one. I didn't know there was a 3rd dice there. We got a 5 and 2. We're taking 7 magic damage, and we are condemned. I could die if Remy goes first. Next turn. Alright, that is the end of that turn. And now I'm going to, she's used this ability once per encounter, so I'm actually going to put this thing on her. I'll shrink it a bit. So she will... Vid snap. She will skip this power now. I'll put him back. This is something I will be able to do if I want. Once per encounter. Alright, then we'll shuffle. Okay, this turn order. I could apply darkness to her first, since I'm here. Nightingale is first to go. Let me see a turn order. Oh yes, Rook will be last, so I definitely have time to kill an eye, which means this will work out pretty good. What is her conviction? Pretty good. Alright, we're gonna try to do Bring the Shadows, so I'll pay 2. I will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because I can. I'm gonna walk through her, cast their spell of 9. 9 conviction. She rolled a 9, so she's okay. We'll duplicate the spell, and I will walk in the way that I go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how we'll walk it. So I am out of line of sight. Because they don't have to stay in line of sight, right?
You're listening to Game Music Radio.
Ignoring SOI in line of sight, yeah, so I can hide. Advantage, Nightingale. Alright, we need a big number, Knight. That's a big number, Knight. 8 and 6 and 8 and 6. 14 each. We need a bigger number, Knight. It doesn't get bigger, but we need the AI to not get a big number. Alright, we have a 12. Respectable 12. Okay, they have a 9, so she gets 6 magic damage. I take 6 magic damage. And then... she has darkness applied. Alright. And, I bet there's an achievement if we don't let her die, but that's gonna be tough, because I'm already at 13, because fuck a Minos, man. Yeah, how does this tether work? It's irreducible damage? Yeah. Alright, anyway. She is darkness. Now we create an eye for her, so she rolls 2 purple. And we figure out the number. 7 and 2 is a 9. 2 to 9, 1 eye of Magdalene, so we got lucky. And it's placed... Place the first one in the farthest space possible from adventurers in tile 69. I have pretty good coverage here. This 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, this is probably the farthest, because right here it's only 2 away. Right here it's also 3 away. So I have really fucking good coverage. Farthest space possible from adventurers. I assume down here it limits my ability to hit it with people that are going next, yeah. Okay, and then the first time she's dealt damage from another dimension. Melody screeches at her fresh wound. In a high-pitched voice, she screams, I'm not gonna... I'll kill you! Over and over, she waves her hands through the air. With a loud crack. Oh yes, boss battle music. With a loud crack, the floorboards explode all around you, and two women claw out from beneath the dirt with large weapons. You realize in horror that this crazy girl is a summoner of some sort, and she's brought some friends to aid her in the fight. Spawn 2 Sivani, adjacent to the adventurer who dealt damage to Melody. When placing these two figures, if possible, place them in a flanking position and continue your turn as normal. Oh good! I can darkness these two. What is a Sivani? We have a new enemy here. Is it? I'm gonna check this first, because it's gotta be in here, obviously. Beep 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 beep. What appropriate music. Sivani. Twin Sivani Ava. Twin Sivani Hope. Do I just place both of these here? I assume I do. Spawn Twin Sivani, adjacent to the adventurer, dealt damage to her. So, we have an opposing Esper. It is fragile, so it has half of her HP. Means it has 15. Twin Sivani, Ava, and Hope. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, right. While I'm in the middle of this, let me place them. We'll look at their models. They have to be in the flanking position, so they are back here. Like that. Okay. I'm gonna assume alphabetized and Ava will go before Hope, because I don't know which one's supposed to be first. The opposing Esper, they follow all the rules of Esper. We can double check and make sure there's nothing fancy going on here. It's opposing Espers. Okay, they don't have any special rules. And fragile, just to double check. It's too bad I'm not like in the middle of playing. I gotta look up some rules. I should probably conserve this page as a separate page, but whatever. Fragile. Half it, yes. So half of 30 is 15. Alright, everything you want. Everything you want. Best friends. Best friends. Resonance. She does not have resonance. Alright, let's first of all, the first thing I want to do, for those that like lore, is the back of her card, the subjugated oblation. For anyone who wants to read, feel free to pause and read her card. Closest to bonds. Ava's. And a Sivani or Hope, which probably says the same thing. But there they are. They have 0 armor, they have 6 movement, they have... This one's got a black die, so Ava is the attacker, I guess. So everything you want. When the twin Savani are summoned for any reason, spawn both the Ava and Hope figures if possible. The first time each turn, Hope would miss with an attack. Reroll the attack roll. When attacking, Hope will always prioritize a flanked opponent. Alright. The first time each turn Ava misses with an attack, she rerolls the attack roll. When attacking, Ava will always prioritize a flanked opponent. We definitely want to kill these things. Alright, best friends. Hope has Nimble, Elusive, and Provoke 2. Ava has the same thing. While both Ava and Hope are on the board, they both gain Backstab and Resistance Magic. Wow, they're resistant to magic damage while they're both on the board, eh? Alright, Resonance. The first time each turn Hope rolls a Starburst during an attack, follow-up. Cast a spell 6 against up to 2 different opponents within Hope's SOI. Roll Hope's casting die, deal magic damage equal to the result. So she just does like a gore shot. She does like the water lower thing. Is there an opponent within reach 2? Make a melee attack within reach 2. This attack gains Starburst. So she just gets a free Starburst. You do the same thing. No, she has different rules. Alright, I think Hope needs to die first. Then, if Hope is not already flanking a target, she will move to be within reach 2 of the farthest opponent possible. If Hope can flank a target, she will attempt to flank the farthest opponent possible. You know, I don't know if I've ever noticed enemies flank me. Ever. With how I've been playing. Because their AI always stops them when they move next to you. They don't like move to get beside you. Okay, I'll go down their list as we get to them. I don't want to be overwhelmed. So we're still taking our turn. And I never flipped my books. Did I flip twice? I did flip twice. Alright, we're gonna use the infection to take 1 damage so that this flip costs 1 less to do. And then we're gonna unflip the other book by paying for it. And all of this is happening instantly because I can at any time. So we're gonna continue the Bring the Shadows spell. I'm gonna do it again. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. So I need to then move out of the way. Actually, would it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? We'll do it so I'm here, and then I can like get her again on the way out. So we're gonna hit them both. Bring the Shadows. So first one we'll do Ava since I walked on her first. Okay, we got a 3. I need to move my dices. Fix my camera angle a bit. Get out of my way. We'll accept the 3. Conviction is this. I'm just gonna hit this button. Alright, she got a 6-8, so she blocked that, and then Hope. Alright, we got a 10. Okay, she got a 14, so I didn't get them darkened. They're pretty magic resistant anyway. I am going to copy the spell again. The whole point of this is just so I can move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or should I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so I can run away? They have a movement of 6. She has to walk through terrain. So I think we're just gonna copy it to run away. Then I can do Gore Shot on Hope. So we'll do Gore Shot on Hope. Whoops. Alright, well, not rolling very well. Okay. We are not casting any spells. Nightingale usefulness is debatable. I'm going to use my once per encounter skill to get everyone an SP and 2 SP on Nightingale. Alright, we're going to try to poison one of them. Well, the one I can see, Hope. So I'm gonna pay 1 SP, we're gonna tap this. I should really poison the boss because you know what, now that I think about it, that might make things very awkward if I poison the boss, actually. She's gonna be spawning eyes at the start of her turn. 13, so I do not poison with my 8. They're really good at blocking magic. Also, my orange, I'm gonna delete this and this. You guys have been rolling nothing but 2s and 3s. Come on, get out of here with that shit. New dice! I demand new dice. Alright, Ava. So, is Ava flanking an opponent? No. Can Ava move to attack an opponent within reach 2? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So... move to be within reach 2 of the farthest opponent possible. The farthest. So she can do this. So that means what I'm gonna do is tap my thing and give me provoke so I can hit her. So we're gonna do that first, and then I'll figure out where Ava is. Because Ava's going to the farthest opponent, which is Nightingale. Maybe I can hit her. No, I fucking can't, because she has 10, 12... Well, you know what? It says their defense is... It should be what's printed on the card, the base value. It should be 12, not 11, because she's 11 at the moment. And she can't dodge. Anyway, I fucking missed, because Zeke sucks. He doesn't want to help us win the game. And that was my break attack. I can only do it once per turn. Okay, so Ava finishing her thing. She moved to be within. To be within is like up to, isn't it? Where's the movement? Up to versus within. No, within is the, without consideration of maximum ranges of values. Yeah, so she just goes up to that spot. Then make a melee attack within reach 2. This attack gains follow-up, make an attack. Alright, so first things first. I won't dodge the first one because she does a follow-up anyway. So she's gonna make a melee attack. Her dice is equal to the boss's. So she's rolling 2 red plus a black. She got a fucking 15 and no skull. Alright. So 15 on 10 is 5. I reduced the damage by 2 because I have 2 armor. So I'm currently taking 3. Then this skill adds in shields and stars, so we're back to 5. I can take 5 damage, that's not that bad. She didn't miss, but she hit, so she gains follow-up, make an attack. I actually should have forced her to miss then, so she doesn't get to follow up. No, she would, because she re-rolls the attack roll. Alright, whatever. Okay, so she hit me for 5. We're gonna take the 5. I can heal that. Then she has follow-up, make a melee attack. So she's gonna do another one. I was not going to dodge again, and she actually failed spectacularly, so she has to re-roll her dice the first time, and she failed again. That's good. Alright, so that attack failed. Then, if she made at least 2 attacks this turn, make a melee attack within reach 2. This attack gains +6 physical damage. She did make 2 attacks this turn. So you want her to fail the first attack. Alright, now this melee attack targets Nightingale, because Nightingale's first on the thing. So one more at me, I will now dodge. So let's roll our dodge dice. Alright, that's 4, so I'm at a 14. He's at 9. So this attack fails as well. Okay. No +6 physical damage against me. But that was her move. Now her sister, Hope. Oh, she has to roll a starburst. Okay, so she, even if she gets a free starburst to spend, she doesn't roll it. So she's not just gonna spam magic, unless it is supposed to combo. It specifies roll, so I'm gonna treat this starburst as not capable of proccing resonance. Is the opponent within reach 2? No. Otherwise, move towards the nearest opponent. If Hope can flank a target, she will attempt to flank the farthest opponent possible. This dialogue is so weird, because she's moving towards the nearest opponent. It should say, move towards the farthest opponent if Hope can flank any targets along the way. Hope will flank the farthest opponent possible. That's how this should read. Because the way it's written, if she moves towards the nearest, so she's moving towards Zeke, she'll never flank Nightingale. I mean, she'd have to be over here to flank her to begin with, but... So, 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, I believe is what Hope is doing. And then she's gonna make a melee attack within reach 2, which is gonna be at Nightingale. So yeah, we wanna kill these summons and then fuck up Melody. She doesn't respawn these, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we need to kill this eye, always stay next to Melody, and fucking kill these two, and then finish Melody off. Melody's a pretty easy boss, so it makes sense she had these summon ads, because it definitely spices things up. Anyway, I'm gonna dodge with my SP. Alright, I got +2, so I'm at 12, and this girl does not get black dice. She only rolls 2 red. Okay, she missed me, which is nice. Unfortunately, I didn't have the reach 2 for the break attack. Elfie! Help me, please. Okay. Elfie is all the way over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We want to... Alright, before I move, we're gonna gore shot the eye. That's the first thing we do. We kill the eye if we can. Gore shot! Cast the spell. We have a respectable 12. The eyes have 2 purple. Thank God they don't have hers. That would be ridiculous. I do hit, so we'll pay 2 HP. Do 6 damage. So the eyes are gone again. I guess I could fuck her up with Zeke. I mean Rook. On this next turn. Okay. That was that. I'm gonna move. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna move over here. We're gonna give Blood Barrier to our boy. Zeke. And then I'm going to chill. I kind of wish they flipped them so this one, or this one, was facing the other way. So they were like back, if you put the art together, they would look like they're back to back, you know? I think that would have been a cool touch. Anyway. Is that all LFU wants to do? I think so. I would go here and attack Hope, but I want to keep the space open for Rook. We don't want... Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, Rook could go this way. So you know what? Instead of moving here, I will say I moved here. So I don't mind tanking. And I will do an attack on Hope. So I can get some magic damage to bypass her armor. So we'll do magic. We'll do scalpel. Well, I guess I don't need magic damage to bypass her armor. 7 and 4 is 11. Unfortunately, she's a 12, so I do miss. Right, and she's also nimble, so she dodged. Thankfully, they don't counter. I almost feel like the melee one should counter. Oh god, she has 16. Oh right, and they're elusive. So they don't provoke a break attack anyway. Ah, I couldn't do the attack with Zeke. I missed, but I'm gonna not untap that because I can't. I guess I can leave it tapped. It doesn't matter. I gave myself provoke 2, but they don't provoke break attacks because they're fucking elusive. What's the rule on elusive? Right, it's if I'm adjacent to them at the start of a turn. I wasn't adjacent to her at the start. Okay, so I can do provoke. I can. Oof! So many things to keep track of. Alright, well we missed. She had 16 defense. Zeke's turn to go. I may as well go... Oh, you know what? Before my Esper's turn's done, I'm gonna have her attack. Right, may as well use this stuff up. Her nimble is used up, because it's only the first time you're attacked each turn. So we'll attack her again with Scalpel. I'll probably do it twice over. Why not, right? 7 and 4 is only 11. If we could just roll fucking higher. 12 is hitting that ballpark of 50%. It's that 50% thing. I'm gonna attack with Scalpel again. And 6 and 2, and a miss. Okay, I'm not meant to hit. This, you know what this means? This means when Zeke goes right now, which I'm gonna go right now, and I attack Hope, I'm gonna miss. Yeah, I think I want to get rid of Hope. So we're gonna attack Hope. I'm gonna use this one instead of this one. And this one. And then this one. Custom pool. Zeke, please, we need to hit them. They're not that tough. She does dodge. I'll roll dodge dice. She's nimble. I missed anyway. It doesn't fucking matter. It's not going great. Oh good, her dodge failed. I'm gonna attack again. We're just gonna stand here and attack until I hit these things. I'm gonna reroll this because it kind of just got gimped. Alright, we missed anyway. I'm gonna attack again. This is ridiculous. What is happening? I'm allowed to hit the enemy. Game, come on, please. Tabletop simulator. It's okay to hit the enemy sometimes, you know? Sometimes it's okay. No, we missed. Only a 10. Apparently it's impossible to hit a 12. What do I do if I'm not allowed to hit them with the Zeke? Zeke always has this problem. I guess orange-green is not a good dice combo or something. I'm gonna get rid of all of you. We're getting some fresh dice here. I'm gonna need 2 teal. You know what? We've been plucking from this pile here. Let's try Rook's pile. I need 2 teal. We're gonna need some whites. Some purple. Because the superstition. Throw those dice away. They're no good. I don't think we need green at all. Nah. This is like what we need. Just 2 of all these and then the 2 black. Usually 1 for them, 1 for me. Okay. Anyway, Zeke just missed 3 attacks in a row. I cry every time. I'm just gonna stand here and cry some more. Melody goes. Thankfully, we killed her eye. So, are there no opponents adjacent? No, we are adjacent. She's about to attack everybody, though. Is there an opponent adjacent? Make a separate attack against each opponent within reach 2, then swap places with the farthest opponent within line of sight. Her line of sight means she's going to swap with Remy, which is actually fine, because now I want Remy to tank these. The only problem is she's going to keep swapping with Remy. If Remy's going to have to like move down here to get out of line of sight on the next turn. Hopefully turn order is good for me. Okay, so first is Nightingale. She is going to attack Nightingale. I can't dodge, so we'll just tank this. 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 on 10 is 1. And then 2, 3. 3 damage, that's not so bad. Then Zeke, right? Or no, Elifie. Elifie is nimble, so she will dodge. She failed her dodge because, of course. And she rolled a 16. 6 on 10. So we're still... we're 11 now. 6 on 11. 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. She just did 9 damage. Okay. 15, she just killed Elifie, just like that, and there's nothing I can do about it. So, Elifie, thanks for hanging out, but the dice rolls say that this boss is going to kick our ass, apparently. I'll reset that to 3, we can reset this to 0. Back in the bag with you. Move that to the side. Jesus, what a roll. If I had any inkling she would do 8-8, I would not have put Elifie next to her to greed. Alright, now Zeke is getting attacked. I will dodge. Tell you what, I'll reduce the physical damage portion of this instead. I don't want to counter her because my dice rolls are really bad. Remy and Rook still get to go. Maybe I should counter her. What if this is the one? Alright, tell you what. I'll reduce fizz damage and I'll counter with the dodge. So why not? Alright, dodge failed. I don't have to worry about countering. 7 and 5 is a 12 over 11 hits by 1. And then she has 2, 3. I reduced the physical damage by half, which means it still does 1 to me. So, we eat 3 damage. And then she swaps places with Remy. What a little shitter. And then, is there an opponent within line of sight? Cast a spell 6 against an opponent with the lowest conviction value. Remy is the only one she can see. Everyone else is getting hit by rocks or red. So, spell 6. I'll roll her casting in a second. That's my conviction. She got a 14, I got a 13, so she does hit me. She will roll 2 purple, 2 orange, 2 red, and deal 1 per magic. So 2 orange, purple, and let's get the red. I'll just roll it all at the same time. Quite the magic spell she has. We have 1, 2, 3. Alright, she did 3 damage, not bad. Except the problem that I have to heal or I'm gonna die. 2 HP left. Right. Okay, now it's Remy's turn. Remy's gonna heal herself for 6 each, so 12. Which costs 2 SP, so I'm just at 1. I will do Proof of Divinity. We'll give Courage to... Oh yeah, I'm Condemned. I never cured the Condemn, and I lost my Condemn cure. I forgot about that. We almost died to it, too. Let's give the Courage out. Zeke does not seem capable of hitting, but hey, I'm gonna give it to him anyway. I'm gonna pay 1 to give out haste to Zeke as well. I'm gonna try to put our faith in the boy. I'll drink this Vitality Juice box to heal 3. I shall re-equip my stuff for free. I don't think I need this plank. We'll take this out. We'll take the bomb out. I'm gonna use the bomb to eliminate Condemn from myself. Yeah, that's gone. Okay, and then I'm gonna bite one of these 2 ladies next to me. We'll hit Hope. Hey, 4 damage on Hope. Not bad. I think that's the end of my turn. This is untapped. Okay. Rooks go. So yeah, before I go ham on fucking the boss, because Remy's gonna take damage and we want her to tank, we're gonna kill these 2 problem children. So we're gonna move 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna go right here. That is a break attack from her, so she is gonna break attack me with her 2 red dice, because that's Hope. I will dodge with a possible counter on this break attack. She rolled super high, so we're not gonna beat that. I got +2 on 11, so I'm at 13. She's at 15, so it's 2 damage, 3, 4, 5 damage. I'm looking at the wrong stat card. Oh, yeah, 3, 4, 5. And should not roll a starburst, thankfully. So I'm taking 5. I have no armor. Then I'm gonna make a free attack with my once per encounter thing. Rook, it is up to you. Please, let's get these dice out of the way. We need some big damage. Realistically, 1 hit on her will kill her, because you only have 15 HP. This is her nimble. So she's at a 13. We need a 13 to hit here. Alright, an 8 and a 5. That's a 13, so I do hit. So we'll take this hit. We're at a baseline 0. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to use this to gain an SP. So we're back at 5. And it's too bad I don't have courage. And we gain 1 gold. Do these things give me... I think these things will give me loot when I kill them. I don't remember reading that they don't. Anyway. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the passive. We did 5 damage. To Hope. Then we're gonna pay that 1 SP I just gained for quick blow, follow-up attack. Alright, we have a 4 and a 6. That is a 10. So what can we do about this? After resolving an attack I made, if it missed, make an attack against the same target. So this missed. We're gonna make an attack against the same target. Alright, we have a 6 and a 3. The shields are good, so I'll try to re-roll because 6 is high enough that we can get 12. We just need a 6, 7, or 8. 50%. Alright, we do get the 7. The 7 and 6, 13, 1 over 12, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 more damage. She died. So we've killed Twin Savani. Hope that wasn't that bad. I think I get a loot card. 5, 6, 7. Okay, but we're not done yet because that re-attack hit. So now we can do quick blow. Yeah, because this was a separate attack. So we can quick blow off of the aligning machine attack, I believe. And quick blow, we can choose a new target. So now Ava is our target, and Ava gets a nimble. Which she failed spectacularly. Oh yeah, they have provoked too. Alright, so Ava, I forgot they have provoked. Ava attacked me too, which I would not have dodged Ava's attack. We're just gonna eat the damage. 7 and 3, she missed me. Ava missed me with her provoke. So here's my attack on her. She's at a 12, no dodge bonus. We have an 8 and 4, that's a 12, so we do hit. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Starburst, 5 for Hammer Helm. So 5 damage on this one. And another gold for Lady Booty. Lady Booty Pounder, we be pounding. I'm not going to use this thing at all. What we're going to do is activate our Doom Breaks to gain 2 SP. I love Rick's build. Literally, I can't believe you're allowed to do this. That's 1. I didn't mean to zoom in so much. We have not broken either of them. So we're gonna make an attack on Ava again. Alright, unfortunately, I missed this attack. I don't think I have any other reroll abilities. Oh, I do, actually. Here. We're at 6. It's at 50%. Again, we have good shields. So I'm going to use my Bottled Blessing here, which I probably shouldn't, to reroll his dice. This is an ally at any time. Yeah. So I'm going to do that. I should probably save it for healing Remy, but she's gonna die. Okay, we failed that as well. Does anyone else have... Alright, I'm gonna use hers to reroll that die again. Yeah, I am right there. I think it's worth it to get this kill. Possibly. Unfortunately, I just can't do it, so we'll make a new attack instead. Alright, 8 and 4, that's 12, so that hits. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more damage. She has 2 HP left. We will do Quick Blow for following up this fresh attack. All I have to do is hit her and she's probably dead. I need some more Bottled Blessings. 7 and 3, not quite good enough to do it. So now what we're gonna do is consume this Hangover Elixir to use one of my abilities that costs 3 SP or less. It says abilities, not actions. What's an ability? I was hoping I could just attack again. I think abilities are... I might be able to use Hammer Helm again, right? No, other conditions still apply. I might not be able to abuse this yet. So maybe I won't use that. I think we'll just have to go to next turn. She managed to survive because of this damn 3. 50% chance of hitting all the time, man. Sucks. Which one did I kill? Hope. Yeah, screw you, Hope. No mercy. I think she lives. Double check Nimble. Yeah, it's the first time. Oh right, they add +1 to the result. It hasn't changed anything. I forgot to get that benefit though. That might have helped my girl, actually, my Elifie. No, she got hit with double 8s. That did not help Elifie at all. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw darts at her, I guess. Next turn, let's hope for a good turn order. Oh, Rook is first, eh? And then she's gonna come... Oh crap, Rook wants to get next to her, actually. Alright, Rook, you have 2 jobs. One, you gotta kill this hussy, which I probably will. Let's use both Doom Breaks. Gain 2 SP. I heal 1 from Sentient Bodysuit. First Doom Break. Alright, we've broken a Doom Break. Second Doom Break. Honestly, they served their purpose pretty well, lasting this long. Okay. We'll start with an attack on Ava. Ava will dodge. I know, I'll roll it. It doesn't really matter what she gets. Alright, her dodge failed. But my attack failed super spectacularly. I will attack again. I kind of have to hope this hits, otherwise I need Remy to finish her off. Because I do not want the boss to apply Condemn. This does not hit. What do we do in this situation? I could just attack again. Well, I have a 4. It's 4. I need an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's just too low. Too many low dice rolls coming out. So I could attack again, but then I can't move. I only have the 1 SP unless I roll a Starburst. Why not? Alright, I'll use MF Fortitude. I'm gonna gain 1 SP. I'll do 1 more attack on Ava. Let's drink the beer. Steady our focus. Steady our aim. Rook, if you hit her, she dies. Okay. Well, that's 11, so no matter what, I can't hit her. It was not meant to be. She's gonna cast Condemn on this turn. Ugh. She's only gonna condemn 1 person, and then she's gonna skip the other thing. And then she's gonna cast the spell 6 on Remy. I guess that's fine. Hopefully that's fine. Oh well, I can't do anything about it, so she has to cast the spell. Everyone in line of sight, she can only see Remy, so she shall cast. It is her turn. She gets an 11. We have to beat an 11 with 2 white dice. We will not beat an 11, so we have the Condemn status. May end up killing me. I cannot get rid of it easily either. And then continue down. No one is adjacent to her, so she won't attack anyone. She already did her once per encounter thing, and she'll cast the spell 6 on Remy. Alright, she got 12. And do we resist? No, we do not resist. So, 2 orange, 2 red, 2 purple. Add up the books. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 magic damage on Remy. So we're at 7. Okay. Now it's Remy's turn. I might be able to just kill this twin by biting her with my shield, hopefully. I'm gonna drink... Alright, hold up. How much healing do I actually have? I can uncondemn her. Right, I have to roll condemn first. So if we fail this condemn check, then that's it. Remy's done. Okay, Remy's done. It's been decided by the game. I have no bottled blessings left, so I can't reroll. That makes me very sad that that just happened. Goodbye, Remy. Don't have to worry about the tether effect anymore. So as soon as I can, I am going to completely kill this boss. In honor of Remy. Ava, what are you doing? You no longer have a best friend. So I don't have to worry about the backstab. She can't flank. Well, she can technically if the boss is around. Alright, what else is the boss doing? She killed me. She did her magic spell and ended, then I died to condemn. Ava! Move to attack an opponent within reach 2. Move to be within reach 2 of the farthest opponent possible. She already is. And then, there's no flanking. Make an attack within reach 2. If she's attacking Rook, Rook will dodge with a counterattack at the ready. Could be his last chance to redeem himself. Alright, we're at 13. She is at... She's also at 13. Plus this is power, so I do not dodge, but my dodge was successful. She has 1, 2, 3, 4 physical damage. Did I do anything? I forgot to use my aligning machine. I'm a fool. Nah, I think I'm taking 4. Because I forgot my aligning machine. 10, 11, 12, 12, 12. No, wait, didn't she just miss me? I'm not at 12. What did I get? 1 shield? I got 2 shields. I'm at 13. 10, 11, 12, 13. No, she hit. She hit. She did 4. That's all she did. Okay, she hit. She gets her follow-up attack. I cannot dodge anymore. I don't think so. She just gets her follow-up attack. She missed with that roll. And then the first time she misses, she gets to reroll the attack roll. Alright, so she got a 12, which does hit on 11. She hits me for 1, 2. 2 damage. And then, because she hit twice, or she made at least 2 attacks this turn, she'll make another attack at him with plus 6 damage. So if she doesn't miss this, we might die. She rolled a 7-4, which is 11, so she does hit me on 11. So she did 7 damage. I guess it's not that bad. If she's gonna hit for plus 6, it may as well have only 1 tacked on as well. Nightingale's turn. We're gonna gain 3. Untap all this stuff. What happens if the boss can't see anybody? She doesn't do anything, she just stands there. So I can actually spend some urgency tokens to recoup a little bit. Well, I'm gonna do a gore shot. I literally only need to hit this. I know that's a huge problem for me, hitting. I may want to melee attack her with my books instead of spells. She doesn't have any counterattacks. Conviction. I rolled an 8, that's pretty good. She has a 10, we have a 14. So I do hit her with Gore Shot. That'll be the last 2 damage we need. So we do get rid of Ava. I will heal 2 HP for that. And we gain an item loot off of her. So I guess that's nice too. So we just have the boss and managing her eyes. Item loot. 6 and a 5, 11. We gain a core, and it'll be a common core. So that's cool. If it's the one I want, too. Which it is, that saves me a lot of money. I will equip this right away. I'll lose the benefit of dark, but that's fine. Get an extra defense, and my dice upgrades to orange. We're at 11 defense now. Crap, I keep forgetting the Ghost Canister's ability. I could have used his to help Rook dodge Ava's attack. I know she missed that break attack, but I could have done that. This is sitting in here. I guess I'll keep these separated. They're in my pack and they have their equipments. Alright, so that's cool. A monster did attack this turn, so we can just chill if I want. Or Zeke can go ahead and play with her. I can't stand in the terrain. I can stand in this terrain, though. 4, 5, 6. If I hit her, we're gonna create a token. You know what? I didn't pay attention, but the Eyes of Magdalene, they don't really attack or anything. Yeah, they don't do anything. I'll unflip a book. I'm trying to think, if I poison her... It'll be extra poison damage that creates an eye. Yeah, I probably shouldn't poison her. If I'm gonna hit her, we wanna hit her with big numbers. Alright. I will end my turn. I think. This boss fight is surprisingly closer than it should be because of epic failure from Rook. Zeke goes, we get 4 SP, we are hasted. I will swap my items. I should not need those. We want this and this, I suppose, as well as the BAMF, just in case. And then I will end my turn. So on the next turn, she goes last. Should I just take the urgency token? Here's the thing, and this is important for manipulating her. I don't think killing these tokens counts towards preventing urgency, actually. Let me read the urgency rules. That just says opponents. They are defeated as opponents. And it includes spawning them. Shit, I could just poison her and let poison kill her. If I have someone hiding down here, the token will always spawn here. The only thing, I need to, like, be able to kill the token. And then move out of the way of her. I actually would like her to teleport one more time to a more viable location. Okay, I think right here, if I make her teleport there... and then everyone gets out of sight. I mean, if I camp here, the token is going to spawn somewhere else. So, is there anywhere we can put the boss? I could put the boss in the corner. And then leave one dude here and one person here. Zeke can reach all this. The boss can't see me. And then it'll die to poison, and the tokens will just spawn at the furthest locations. Hmm. Hmm. So I want the boss to spawn down here. How do we do this? Let's move with Nightingale. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm out of sight on this turn. I'll take 1 urgency token this turn. And then I can try to poison the boss as well. So, Rook. He goes, we gain 3, we heal 1. These are untapped, only one of them works. I don't need to use it right now though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 8 movement, I can go anywhere to get to an eye when I need to. So we can stay put. I'll just end my turn, and then Zeke can also stay put and end his turn. He's at max now. That'll be 1 urgency token. Second turn, boss goes. Boss can't see anybody and does not do anything as far as I am determining. No one's adjacent. She casts a spell 6 against everyone in line of sight. She has no line of sight to anybody. And then, is there an opponent adjacent? No. Is there an opponent within line of sight? No one's in line of sight. Oh, she already did that. And then, is there an opponent within line of sight again? Yeah, as long as you're not in line of sight. I think she should have, to prevent what I'm about to do, have 1 more line of text. Which means you kind of need to more intelligently write the passive, or I guess shrink the text a bit, but she should have an otherwise spawn Magdalene eyes. So it'll be 1 or 2. Eye of Magdalene. Should be the last line. If nothing else happens, she spawns Eye of Magdalene. That's what it should say. But it doesn't, so we can do this. Yeah, we'll take the urgency token for the round. Alright, Rook is first, and then these 2, which is good. So I'll take another urgency token this round. Rook will heal. She does nothing. Rook's at max, he's ready to go. Nightingale. I will unflip a book and just stay put. And then... oh no, I can move. Wait, I can move. Unflip a book and move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're now the farthest opponent in line of sight, and Zeke needs to tank a hit. So Zeke's gonna go... and, gonna move. 2, 3, 4, 5. Get right next to her, because we have to be adjacent, otherwise she's gonna condemn us. And then I will make an attack. Let's see if we miss, because you know we're gonna miss. And I'll lose my courage. She has 11 defense. We get a 16, so hey, if I'm gonna hit her, may as well hit her for maximum damage. Did I just one-shot her? That would be amazing. I guess technically 2-shot. 16 on 11 is 5, and then we do the whole book shield thing. So we have 2, 4, hold up, it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for the courage. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 damage was just dealt. Because that's what Zeke is capable of when he fucking hits. 21 and 6 is 27. I almost one-shot the boss. And now she needs to make a poison check. Of 10. She's not poisoned, unfortunately. So she just got her ass beaten real hard. That's how you do it, Zeke. Alright, she summoned 2 eyes, which is mildly annoying. So the first eye would be the farthest space away. The second one, the farthest space is over here. The first one... here? Possibly? I mean, it's kind of close to him, so maybe here. Okay. Good job, Zeke. Alright. Next turn. She would go first. So, Melody. Someone is adjacent. She'll make a melee attack against each opponent within reach 2. We will dodge this. Yeah, there's no point in me attacking again. Oh crap! I could have Tristram Spirited. Hold up, could I have killed her? Tristram Spirit was an extra 2 damage. Almost forgot about that. If only I had a level 3 discipline. I would not have been able to throw the shuriken because she spawned the thing. So she was 1 off from dead. If she was poisoned right now, she would have made a 3rd eye. That's fine. Alright, yeah, she's going to attack me. I'm going to dodge. I paid 1 already. So we're going to dodge. Okay, we have 3 plus 1, I believe, on an 11. So we're at 15. Yes, we're at 15. Still need to upgrade my shirt. She's attacking. Okay, she wanted to hit me real bad, so 15. She does 1, 2, 3 magic damage, gets through. Alright, so she hit. Then she'll swap places with the farthest opponent within line of sight. So she's gonna swap with Nightingale. Then she's going to cast a spell 6 against the person with the lowest conviction. We have orange, purple, so they're tied. Nightingale's first, so she's going to attack Nightingale. Alright, and she's probably going to hit me because she gets the 8. Of course she gets the 8. I know, I just hit you for 21. But I don't care. Why you gotta roll the 8? Yeah, and then I roll 2-1. At least it doesn't do damage based on the difference. So we need 2 orange, 2 purple, 2 red. Got to eat some magical damages here. Oh, come on. Eating over. 2, 4, 6, 7. That's not the worst. But it's enough to kill me, and I actually cannot heal unless I have a... No, so she actually kills Nightingale. That's fine, I suppose. There's nothing I can do about that. She's not gonna kill. I didn't think she'd get Nightingale. Tricky boss. Actually, I don't think the boss is that bad, especially if what I did. She's getting really good dice rolls. And I failed to kill even Hope on Rook's turn, granted I missed 1 attack. Alright, Nightingale got diced. And that is her turn done. So, Rook's turn. Rook's gonna say hello to this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna go probably kill it. Hopefully kill it. Alright, that's a 10. 10 does hit, and we have 2, 3, 4, 5 exact damage thanks to Hammer Helm, so I do kill that. I healed 1, and I guess that's the end of my turn. I don't need to use anything. It has to be within SOI, right? Within sphere of influence. It does not say within line of sight. I need a good turn order next turn. Oh no, I'll be out of range. What is perfect? Alright, we'll just end. And then Zeke can go. Zeke gains 4. I did hit with my 1 attack. So we're gonna move. 1. Now she can't see me. And then I'll attack this thing. Hopefully I hit. Pay the SP in a moment. Alright, we have a 5, we have a 6, that's an 11, we do hit, that's 1 damage over, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the book shields, plus 8, 9, 10, 11, so we definitely kill that. Holy crap, holy man, I think she's dead if I hit her. And we go first too. Alright. Now, if I miss... What can get to her? Especially with the BAMF and how much I move. So, we're gonna hopefully not miss. I may pay an SP to get the shuriken, because that's a guaranteed kill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll get next to her. 4, 5, 6. We'll do that. I will attack first. And we should be able to kill her. I'm still worried about Remy. I'm thinking either A, I'll miss an achievement. Okay. I'm not even gonna play around. We're gonna re-equip stuff. I'm gonna throw the knife at her and she'll die. No matter what I roll. I'm not doing another attack. Just die. Stupid Melody. Yeah, eat 5 damage, nerd. We have defeated Melody. I am worried Remy might die here. Ah. It was a cool boss fight. I liked it. Man, if only my dice rolls were better. And poor Remy. Remy got fucked up. Okay. Special encounter rules. So when we defeat her, gain the Oblation's Expiation Living Oblation Monster Loot. Okay. Gain the what? Oblation's Expiation. Oblation's Expiation Monster Loot. Material Cloth 0011. What? It has what color is this? Oh, this is armor. Exhaust dodge. If you successfully dodge the attack counter, pass it during a dodge. If you don't roll skull, add +1 to the result. Oblation's Expiation. So we got armor. Yes, it's armor. Honestly, it's just it's literally just an occult shirt. But worse. Okay, it's not necessarily worse. This is armor that adds 1 to the defense value. That is a big deal. I would say defense is more important than armor. But you sacrifice quite a bit to get that extra defense. There's a lot of HP sacked. It's you still get the movement bonus, so you're sacking 3 HP. That might be worth it. Except my summons, well, they would benefit from the defense too. Tell you what, since Zeke earned it and I haven't bought him his armor yet, I guess we'll give it a try and see if I like it at least. I'm gonna keep this shirt in the meantime. We'll put it in the party that's here. So we have 3 less HP, we have just 12, but we have 1 more defense. So we're actually the most defensive character now. I'll give it a try, see if I like it. GG. Okay, Melody is defeated. Each party member gains 1 XP. Restore adventurers continue to set her free. If you lost, though, she will be the one that got away. I did notice that there's quite a branch here. Wonder how much of a branch it is. Oh, this is going to be so exciting. Zeke can learn A level 3 assemblage spell. We have 7 XP to spend. Slowly but surely we're gonna get there. I think I can clear. Everyone is restored, which I figured we would be. Honestly, maybe I took that a little too riskily. Because there could have been a follow-up. I just really didn't think there would be. I already copied her card, so yeah, it exists in here if I ever need it again, just in case. I'm not too worried about the cards, though. Let's restore. Man. Besides the 3 misses in a row, which probably would have been 4 misses in a row, but Aligning Machine is so perfect on him. Rook, so far, does everything I want in a character. Zeke does absolutely ridiculous. Alright, he has to roll like 8-7, but if he gets 8-7 or 8-8, then his damage output is stupid high. Especially with Courage. Courage just adds 4 damage to his attacks. So, Mr. Summoner is Zeke here. We need to buy some fucking items. Oh yeah, I killed the boss. I think I don't get loot, right? Did it say instead of loot? It did not say instead of monster loot. Usually it says instead of drawing a card. So I think we gain monster loot as well. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe we don't. You guys can let me know, but they normally specify it. They have in the previous boss fights. I think we do. We should have 3 cards for the boss and the 2 summons. I don't know what would happen if I drew the monster loot card, but I guess I won't worry about it. So 19 bucks. Can't really afford to buy anything. 24. Ugh, ridiculous. Let's restore the deck. We were told to restore adventurers. Let's pause the music. And we shall set her free. Page 93, which is right here. I don't want notebook, we want music player.
Set her free. The woman had collapsed from the weight of her wounds, blood pooling out about her. Her summons were gone, and she stared down at her ruined body in shock. Despite the damage, her voice sounded only surprised. "Human flesh is so feeble," she muttered. The monster held out one arm in front of her. She was almost surgical in the way she inspected her many wounds. She shook as she pushed her scraps of clothing against a deep gash in her belly, but it did little to stop the bleeding. Rook wasn't fooled. He held out an arm, blocking Nightingale's path to help the fallen woman. "She isn't what she appears. That thing isn't human." Nightingale glared at him, though she didn't try to force her way past. "Rook, she's dying. We can't just let her bleed to death." Rook didn't budge. "Nightingale, do you know what this thing is?" She retreated a step, frowning. "No." Just past him, the imitation of a woman laughed and cackled. "Listen to the big one. He sounds like he knows. Listen while you can." She didn't even sound angry, only resigned. Rook ignored her. "I wasn't sure at first, but I'm quite certain now. They call monsters like this living oblations. You make one deal too many, and eventually the only thing you have left to bargain with is yourself. Something drags you out and takes your body for itself. Whoever this was, she may have been dead for years, decades even." "Is that true?" Remy asked from his other side. "Melody." The monster sounded afraid, suddenly gasping from the pain obvious in the damage to her body. "My name was Melody, before I sold myself." It was as if whatever controlled her momentarily let go. Or perhaps they were always both there. See? Nightingale surged forward, moving to duck under Rook's arm. He stepped in front of her, blocking the way even more thoroughly than it had been before. She's not gone. You're still you, aren't you, Melody? The woman's head tilted violently to one side, swiveling to look up at Nightingale. Her mouth opened too wide, and she laughed. Of course I am. Who else would I be? We can't know. Rook lowered his arms, no longer blocking the way. The creature inside of her can make the body do whatever it wants. Even if this person was Melody, and we'd known them before, we couldn't be sure. He looked down at the creature. Why are you here? Did you cause what happened upstairs? No, she hissed. Malik ordered me to protect the basement. He doesn't like snoopers. Her tone changed, suddenly pained and desperate and human again. Well, a shocking imitation of human. Please leave me be. I'll heal. I know it looks bad, but I'll heal. If Malik doesn't learn I failed, I'll be safe. Just go. Rook felt the brief pressure on his soul, the faint magic Suri used to look through his eyes, then the momentary weakness as she borrowed some of his strength to manifest. She took shape far quicker than usual, taking an almost solid humanoid form in less than a second. Suri approached the fallen woman without fear, then turned her back on her to meet Rook's eyes. You must kill this creature. Quiet. This doesn't concern you, Melody hissed, suddenly angry again. She lurched towards Suri, but only made it a few inches before her horrific wounds forced her to stop. Suri pleaded to Rook. It has no business in this realm. It's just another intruder from Arkella leeching from your world. She looked from Rook to his friends. Only if you kill the host can the Great Bounty pass judgment on this criminal. Any other action will allow it to stay hidden from the Great Bounty. Nightingale looked confused. Suri, what exactly is the Great Bounty? Suri swished in the air in frustration. Stupid girl! Don't use my name in front of it! Suri's sudden outburst caused Nightingale to take a step back. They are the self-appointed interdimensional enforcers of reality, Suri said, still throwing Nightingale a dirty look. Beings of great power who don't like realms meddling with each other, especially not those from Arkella. Now kill her so that they can claim what they want. No, Zeke said. You're gonna have to explain more than that. Sounds like some real comic book shit. I've read about it, Rick explained. If any of you paid attention in assemblage, you would have too. They say that there is an open bounty put on any creatures found in violation of the rules established between dimensions. Espers hail from realms outside of Middara. However, many are allowed to be summoned, bound, or used in any way the contract with their summoner permits. Certain realms are considered off limits, Arkalla being one of them. It's likely the reason the Malum is hiding in Nightingale and has no interest in manifesting. I guess this creature is the same. Staying inside of another body allows it to hide from the Great Bounty. If we kill its host, it will be vulnerable. The Great Bounty will be alerted to its meddling in this world. Remy asked without thinking first. What about Suri, then? Isn't she from Arkalla, too? Melody laughed, but it quickly turned into a coughing fit. After she spit out some blood, she affirmed Remy's concern. Yes, she's just afraid that if you let me go, she might be on the hook as well. Naughty girl. Breaking the rules. The creature smiled wickedly at Suri before saying the name. Suri is as guilty as me. Host or no host? Suri snarled, showing a pair of razor-like teeth and red glowing eyes. I am not the same as you. I appear out of curiosity and in brief spurts using this relic. Suri motioned towards a matching amulet around her own neck. You steal men's souls and make them your slaves. Rook, she must die.
Oh shit. We get a choice. What do I do? Kill Melody, Suri knows best. Continue the heeding Suri's warning, or let her live, she might be useful. It's not our decision to make. Hmm. Well, for this playthrough, I think I will spare her to see what happens, and my logic is I would like to stay in the good graces of Remy's dad. So if this thing is currently employed by him, and all it wanted to do is defend the basement, even though it fucked up Remy, I'm willing to spare it. I was kind of hoping I might get something out of it too, since it's got summoning abilities. So we'll do It's Not Our Decision to Make. Page 96, and whatever happens, happens. Let me find this one. I think that's the one we'll go with. If I do a playthrough again in the future, well, maybe we'll end up killing it. Or maybe we'll kill it with my friend. I don't know. Definitely let him lead the way on what we should do.
It's not our decision to make.
Okay.
No! Nightingale walked past Rook, stopping inches away from Surrey. She wasn't afraid, not of the fallen Melody lying in a pool of blood, and not of Rook's Esper. This great bounty thing might be important, but we don't give a damn what their rules are. Nightingale pulled a roll of bandages out of her pack, tossing it down to Melody. Melody caught the bandages, staring down in disbelief. A second later, and she hurried to work, binding her wounds as best she could, staunching the blood with tight wraps. We won't kill a defenseless enemy, Nightingale said. Violet light flickered where Surrey's lower body blurred into an indistinct blur. Do you feel the same, Rook? His voice shook the room. I do. Then I'll do it. Her violet light grew brighter, and a sudden breeze blasted away from her. This is why the bounty was formed in the first place. Mortals are often too weak to protect themselves. Zeke cleared his throat. No, you won't. We decided not to kill her. You got outvoted. Surrey's light flickered, her whole body growing suddenly transparent. There was pain in her eyes as she looked up at Rook, along with frustration. She spun in the air with impossible speed, glowering down at Melody. You best keep your silence, intruder. Surrey hovered just a few inches away from Melody. I know enough to damn you. Surrey flickered once, then vanished like a candle left out on the wind. The Esper gave you good advice. Again the voice came as it had on the streets of Romstead. At least Nightingale didn't feel anything tugging at her body this time. It was only a voice urging her. A living oblivion can mean our deaths, and the
Oblivion.
death of your friend. If it reveals our presence, the bounty will not care that you were taken against your will. It will scour you for the sin of bad luck. Melody jerked sideways, suddenly looking directly at Nightingale. The writer lies to you, girl. My words could bring your death. But what of me? The great bounty could take no words from me without also strangling their canary. She laughed, and again the sound grated on Nightingale's ears. A trifecta of impossible lawbreakers we have here. Each host to each intruder as vulnerable to judgment as the others. Nightingale had to think for a moment about what Melody had said before speaking. You're saying you wouldn't turn us in? Because they'd kill you too? Melody lurched to her feet, swaying unsteadily. Not even Malik will hear me sing again, she said. My debt is paid. The Black Hand can find a new bird. Get out of her way, Nightingale called. Rook, Zeke, and Remy all stepped back, giving Melody a clear path to the ladder. Thank you. Melody met Nightingale's eyes one last time, and again her voice sounded familiar. Look deeper. Malik only wanted me to guard what was worth guarding. She gestured into the gloom, at the faint outline of an open passage against the stone. By the time Nightingale looked back, she was already gone. You think we should? Zeke asked, cleaning his weapon along the side of a rolled bundle of cloth. Might be a trap. Nightingale sighed. We don't really have a choice. If we don't, I might end up like her.
New visitor.
A new visitor. They didn't have
So
very
we
far
didn't
to
get
walk.
anything for that except I guess there was a situation of three other realm entities possessing people present. She was talking to the thing inside Nightingale for a minute. I guess it was talking anyway.
After 50 feet or so in a dark tunnel, they reached the end. Beyond was another stone room, though this one had a lower ceiling and far less open space. Nightingale scanned the shelves and almost couldn't believe what she saw. The room didn't hold more coins, or more precious stones, or more art. Instead, each little cubby and shelf cut into the stone had a single number carved into it. On each shelf rested something completely unique. Nightingale looked between them with open wonder on her face, staring at the array of strange objects. She saw a sword made of several overlapping layers, each one glowing a different color. A length of rope coiled upon itself and hissed at her like a living snake, while a little bag of marbles beside it seemed to grow scorching hot one minute before encrusting the nook in ice the next. My God! Rook stopped in the doorway, scanning the room. He fumbled in a pocket, drawing out the black ledger. Yeah, that's what I thought. He turned it to face them. See the numbers on the wall? They match the ones in here. Damn impressive haul, Zeke muttered, nudging the bag of marbles with a cigarette. It gradually crusted over with ice, snuffing the end out. He pulled his hand back before something worse could happen to him. Enough to get someone killed, Remy sighed. Damn, guys. I'm sorry. I think I dragged you into something awful. Nightingale touched Remy's back gently. Relax, Remy. It's not your fault. You didn't know this was down here. No, I didn't. Remy staggered to her feet, eyes wide. Can you believe it? She looked as though she was going to start throwing things onto the floor. I thought maybe it was just information. It can't be, though. This has got to be stolen. My dad's smuggler, maybe a thief, too. She lowered her voice barely above a whisper. My dad's a criminal. Nightingale reached out to comfort her again, but Remy pulled away. She spun, shoving past Rook towards the open door. No more putting up with this shit. Let's go get some answers. Remy, wait! Zeke didn't stop her physically, though he sounded pleading. If he didn't tell you before, finding this place isn't going to change anything. Remy turned, her eyes were wet. But if he was lying about this, what else could he be lying about? Forget the smuggling. We still need to save Nightingale. I'm not going to stand around and do nothing while Nightingale ends up like Melody. Grace is probably investigating all this, but we can't count on someone else solving it for us. If the Black Hand is involved, my dad and Grace aren't even making this thing official. It could take them months to find the killer. We're running out of leads, and Malik might be the last one. Nightingale looked to Rook for help, but found him engrossed in the ledger. She could still see Melody's eyes in her mind, wide and desperate with panic. Would she look like that one day? I can help you find the murderer. The Malum's voice was almost becoming familiar, but still caused her to shiver. Really? She thought back, more exhausted than angry at this point. The room, the shelves full of artifacts, even her friends started to blur into the background. As they did, something else became clear in the air in front of her. The Malama looked much as she remembered it from her nightmares, a cloud of sentient tar interspersed with flickering lights and organs. When it spoke, it never used the same mouth for more than a few words. All those eyes watched her, not seeming to see or care about anything else. I keep my bargains, mortal. Give me control for an hour, and I'll take you straight to the murderer. You can retrieve whatever leads were stolen and continue your search for Theodosian. You swear? She whispered. If I do this, I'll get my body back? Of course. Its voice grated in a discordant choir of a dozen overlapping voices. You can have your body returned as soon as the deal is done. Nightingale? Rook was suddenly right in her face, so loud her concentration faltered. The horrific shape vanished from in front of her, and the room slammed back into focus. She blinked, dazed. What? You are muttering to yourself, he shivered. We found something. Rook held up the ledger, pointing at one column. She read the word beside his finger. Hegemonics? What is that? Zeke grinned. Probably what the murderer was after. Rook says everything else in here got logged in and out. All methodical. Except this. He stepped back, gesturing at a large empty cubby. Whatever this was. The hegemonics? What kind of artifact is it? Remy asked. Rook didn't get a chance to answer. From down the passage came a distant crash, followed by the sound of shattering glass. He tucked the ledger away in a pocket, then drew a weapon, leading the way back up the passage. Nobody spoke as they crept back the way they came. Nightingale was no exception, peering up through the wooden floorboards. Someone moved above them. Someone she recognized. It was Aisling, the red-headed woman that woke them up all back at the inn. The one who was screaming at Patrick. She dashed through the house, pouring something onto the wood as she went. She didn't stay long, sprinting from room to room and making sure to spread whatever she was dumping as wide as possible. What is she doing? Nightingale whispered. Not sure, Zeke said, smelling the air.
Gonna set
Smells
this
like
place on
sulfur.
fire.
Zeke's eyes went wide. Oh no! As Aisling left the house above them, bright orange flames took her place and smoke started to waft between the cracks. Zeke hurried to the ladder. She just lit the place up! He climbed rapidly, shoving on the hatch. It didn't budge. Rook? You want to help with this? We need to get out of here. How could she? Remy called from beside Nightingale, her eyes wide with terror. Smoke began billowing around above them, and the sound of the fire filled the room as more of the accelerant Aisling had poured went up in flames. She probably doesn't even know we're down here, Nightingale added. We gotta get out of here. We're going to burn to death. Okay, calm down. Rook took Zeke's place at the top of the ladder and braced his shoulders against the hatch. Something snapped, and the whole thing flipped open. Bright orange light shone in around him from the opening. Pretty warm up here. Looks like the kitchen is all clear, but flames are getting close. Time to move. They did. Nightingale was last up the ladder, and the smoke was thick in the air as she made it into the kitchen. She coughed and squinted as black clouds stung at her eyes. The fire already blocked the front and back door. We're trapped. Rook spun desperately. Over the counter in the kitchen, Nightingale could see a window. She jumped onto the counter and waved a hand. This way! She waved a hand and the rest moved behind her. Nightingale, be careful! Rook called from behind, but Nightingale wasn't going to wait for him. She could feel the heat on her skin, and her lungs burned with each breath. Nightingale threw herself against the glass window. The wood splintered under her weight, and the glass shattered. Nightingale fell out onto the grass on the side of the house. She helped her friends out one at a time, covering her mouth as best she could. They didn't make it more than a few steps before they dropped to the ground, breathing heavily. Zeke was the first to sit up. Guys, I know we're all in bad shape, but Grace probably has guards on the way, and I don't want to get blamed for this. Me neither, Nightingale coughed, scrambling to her feet. She helped Zeke up and turned to leave. The group set off down a nearby alley and into the gloom. I think we got our next lead, Rook said from the front. Yeah, Nightingale agreed, following at a half shamble. To Patrick's. I'd like some ale, then maybe some answers.
Back at Patrick's.
Back at Patrick's. Rook was the first through the old-fashioned bar doors, shoving them aside with such force that they snapped back against the wall. He ignored the stares, ignored the confusion of the patrons. His friends kept pace with ease. While none actually marched with drawn weapons, they all had them within reach. If Patrick was in league with the one who had just tried to murder them, they wouldn't let him get away. Rook found the inn's proprietor exactly where he'd been the day before, tinkering with the intricate parts of a disassembled flintlock pistol. Oh, hey! He looked up, eyes flicking from Rook to the others just behind him. You guys go to a bonfire or something? You smell awful. He leaned forward, pointing at a little door next to the stairs. We got hot water in the showers, you know. No need to stink up the whole place. Funny you should mention it. Remy hopped up onto the stool beside Rook, right in front of the disassembled pistol. She casually swept her hand across the table, sending the tools and delicate clockwork clattering to the floor behind the counter. Hey! Patrick raised his hands defensively. You got something stuck up your ass, Moretti? She doesn't. Nightingale didn't sit, but she did poke up near the bar just beside Remy. Her arms and shoulders were covered in small cuts from the glass window, and Nightingale's hair was messily pulled to one side. She kept her voice very low, barely above a whisper. But a friend of yours did just nearly barbecue us. She's a little peeved. We all are, really. To his credit, Patrick didn't try to run, though one of his hands did briefly twitch towards the bar. I don't know what you could be talking about. Remy leaned across the bar towards Patrick, her wings wide behind her. My father's head information broker exploded today. We were in the basement investigating when we saw that friend of yours. Rook kept his voice as low as the others, his eyes flicking up to the mirror to make sure there wasn't anyone sneaking up on them. Aisling lit the place up with us still inside. Either you cooperate with us, or I'll see if my cousin Grace is interested in learning about Aisling trying to cook us alive. Zeke leaned casually against the bar as he spoke, puffing a great big cloud towards Patrick as he spoke. Patrick's shoulders slumped. I can't believe she actually did it. He slipped a flask out from his belt and tossed the whole thing back. He didn't set it down again until it was empty. Look, I don't want to talk about this here. He leaned his flask towards the single opening in the bar, leading back to the kitchen. We can talk in the back. He led them away from the sound of drinking and song, away from the clinking glasses and happy voices. They followed Patrick through the kitchen and into another room tucked against the back wall. Rook's eyes went wide as he took in the whole space. It looked like an entire blacksmith shop had been squeezed into a fraction of the space. High windows were open all along one wall, letting in a steady stream of cool night air. It was barely enough to stop him from sweating, what with the unshielded coals of a burning forge. There was an anvil, too, and a wheel, and a sturdy workbench littered with tools. Half-forged weapons hung from hooks all around the ceiling, low enough that Rook almost put his eye out with an unfinished dagger. The others were all short enough that they weren't in danger, though. Zeke eyed the weapons warily. Look. Patrick faced them again, hopping up onto his workbench. I'll answer your questions. Just don't get the authorities. It would probably do more harm than good anyway. We'll be the judge of that. Nightingale folded her arms, glowering up at him. What did you mean she really did it? Was Aisling the one who murdered the informant? Patrick sighed. I tried to talk her out of it. The Black Hand might be criminals, but they don't deserve what she was planning on doing to them. You knew this was going to happen? Was that what you were arguing about this morning? Nightingale glanced back to see that Rook was glowering. No, I didn't think she actually was going to go through with it. I backed out. I thought that would be the end of it. Patrick lowered his voice a little. You say the guy exploded? She must have gotten the damn thing after all. She found the hegemonics, you mean? An artifact of spontaneous combustion, Rook said. Patrick jerked, and there was no hiding the recognition clear in his eyes. You know about... He shook his head. It's worse. The hegemonics can draw down exalted espers. You mean... Even Remy was taken aback. Yes, Patrick said. Demigods, demons, worse. Stuff nobody should be messing with. I bet Aisling used the hegemonics when she was caught trying to steal it. Poor bastard at the estate probably died before he even felt a thing. Rook was putting the pieces together. So you and Aisling were going to work together to steal this artifact? Why? Patrick didn't answer for a long time. He glanced over to Remy, and the words came slowly. Aisling lost her dad. The Black Hand. Aren't murderers! Remy shouted at him. Spies. Maybe smugglers, but not assassins. My father wouldn't do that. Patrick paled. You don't know your dad very well, do you? Remy looked down at her singed shoes, but Patrick was right. She didn't really know her father. He'd only been her father for 3 years now. She didn't even know he existed before coming to Middara. But he seemed to care about her, and she liked that feeling, being loved. Patrick must have seen the look on her face and moved on. Look, the details aren't important right now, all right? The point is, Aisling's dad was killed. She blames the Black Hand and Malik. As for me, well, he looked down away from Remy and Zeke. I wanted to say that it's because I'm sick of corruption, sick of back alley deals and troublemakers vanishing in the night. Really, I just care about her. I don't want to see her throw her life away over revenge. So why steal such a dangerous artifact? Rook repeated his question. Patrick paused before speaking. I found out about it from a patron. I was hoping that if we stole the hegemonics, it would be enough proof to Balthazar that Malik was up to something that needed investigation here in Romstead, and we could get real justice for Aisling. You were trying to get my dad arrested for peddling dark artifacts? Remy blurted. Patrick only shrugged. It isn't just your dad, Remy. This goes beyond him. The Black Hand has weaseled themselves deep within Alinia's aristocracies. Remy looked furious. She moved closer to Patrick and looked like she was about to scream, but Nightingale cut her off. But you changed your mind, Nightingale offered. You didn't help Aisling steal the hegemonics. Why? Because I realized Aisling couldn't just be happy with that. She wanted revenge. She wanted to kill Malik, to hurt people. So I backed out. The end didn't really justify the means anymore. Patrick rose again, and he no longer looked nervous as he looked between them. This whole mess is at least a little my fault. I couldn't stop Aisling, and frankly, I didn't think she'd go forward with it. That means I've got to help you bring her in. Get that artifact back before the hegemonics gets used again. Really? Nightingale relaxed a little. Yeah, Patrick repeated, nodding back towards the kitchen. But not tonight. Aisling isn't going to come easy. Everything's on me. Even our bathhouse. Get clean, get fed, get rested. We can tackle this whole mess in the morning. Rook stared, searching for deception in Patrick's eyes, but he didn't find any. All right, Rook extended a hand. But in the morning, you give us everything we need to find her. I want your word. Patrick didn't hesitate, taking Rook's hand with a sturdy grip. I swear it on my inn and also my life. Tomorrow. Then he looked towards Nightingale. Also, you have some glass in your hair. Nightingale ruffled her long hair, sending small bits of glass all over the countertop. Thanks, she said, rubbing at her arms. This is bullshit, Remy scoffed. I'm not going to help you put my dad in prison. With that, Remy turned on her heels and stormed out of the small kitchen. Rook and Zeke shared a worried look, but Nightingale was the first to move after her. I'll talk to her, Nightingale spun as she moved. Thanks for the free food and beer, Patrick. Nightingale found her friend a few moments later. She'd already buried herself in the corner with a pint of ale. Hey, Nightingale said, scooting into the small booth beside Remy. She waved her hand to get herself something to drink, and then turned to give Remy all the attention she felt she needed. He's the only family I have left, Remy said softly. All of you have close friends, brothers, sisters, or two parents, but Malik is the only family I have now. Nightingale only nodded and listened as Remy continued. I know he's not a good person, but he's good to me. Remy took a long gulp from her beer. Isn't that good enough? Nightingale still didn't say anything. I mean, plenty of people hate Balthazar. He's not a good person. Nightingale raised an eyebrow and took her drink as a waitress brought it by. She took a sip and said nothing. I'm sorry, Remy sighed. This isn't about your dad. This is about mine. I just can't believe he's a murderer. I won't. Remy shook her head and sighed again. I'll help Patrick capture Aisling, but I'm not going to help him throw my dad in prison. There was a silence as the two kept drinking. Then Remy spoke up. Hey, Night, you want to go to the baths after we get something to eat? Nightingale nodded and smiled. The next morning found them feeling much better for all that Patrick had promised. Clean, rested, and full, they practically glowed as they made their way downstairs. There were no patrons waiting for them, just plates of hot cakes and Patrick himself. The man no longer looked just like an innkeeper. He had a belt of gear along with enough weapons to compete with any of them. I hope you're ready to give us that information, Rook said when he'd finished his plates and all of his friends' leftovers too. We're in a hurry. I'll do you one better, Patrick rose, sliding a weapon away into its holster. I'm coming with you. No offense, but you all don't really have a chance in hell of catching Aisling without me. That and... He nodded respectfully to Nightingale. Shayless would kill me if I let anything happen to you. Wait, what? Nightingale glared at him, bolting upright herself. You never said you knew my sister? Patrick shrugged ruefully. No. Well, we went to the Institute of Alinea together when we first came to Middara. Nightingale skipped over towards an impressive display case of weapons marked for sale. So, since you're good friends with my sister, and since you're also adventuring with us, does this mean that you're going to give us weapons for free? No, ma'am, Patrick said, but you're welcome to buy as much as you like. I can always use money from the pockets of royalty.
Dude, I have no gold, man. We just do not earn.
Side quest.
We do not earn much gold anymore. Alright, we've made it. Ramstead Recreation. This is a new location. So, this accessory is permanently gone from the game. I guess it can be upside right. That's the wrong thing. The buttons. How the button. We get a new unique to buy here, which I cannot afford, so hopefully it's nothing too enticing. Looks like he's got a weapon for sale. I'll look at that in a moment. Let's get the music going. I'm not gonna do much more for this recording, because it's like 12. I'm hungry for lunch. It's been 3 hours. But we'll do the, I'll probably do the shopping that I can do. Anyway, all common items, all upgrades we've unlocked, one random common unique item, all non-unique accessories, and all non-unique items from previous tiers, of course. So, you know, the obvious stuff. As far as exploring, we have 2 new side quests that we can do first, and I could attempt the bounty again, which I probably won't do it yet. Again, dice rolls, especially how that boss fight went. We need to grow in power. And then we could venture forth. So next time we'll do a side quest or 2, depending on how long they are. Anyway, let's see what's for sale. The Problem Solver, a blunt tonfa with red dye, passive, reduce physical damage dealt to you from melee attacks by 1, combo blunt. If you have another blunt weapon, exhaust counter. This counter has follow-up, make an attack. It's actually really good. 2 shields for 2, 2 books to move 1 space as a follow-up. And plus 2 physical damage for a star. I think it's a really good blunt weapon. The only thing is I don't have anything to combo with it. Like, if I had another good blunt weapon, maybe I could switch the Lady Booty Pounder. Did I flip one of my things? Yeah, I did. Not like I have the money for this, but 2 side quests, we will eventually. So I'll leave this here. We currently have 24 bucks. So, what I want... Oh yeah, at the end of the scenario, I get to choose 2 things. We're gonna get this. And... honestly, I think I want 2 of them. One should be good. I'm gonna get a free bottled blessing. These are for the ghost canisters. So we're gonna have Nightingale hold that one, and Zeke gets this. This shirt we're gonna keep in storage for now. I'll probably end up selling it for $5. What did he use? He had a beer. I do like the beer on him. 6, 12, 18. This is 22. Means I'm gonna have no throwing knives, but we need some more bottled blessings back. So I'm gonna spend 22 of my 24 bucks. We have 2 left. And pick up some beer for him. And then a blessing for her. I'll actually give her a blessing. Remy will carry 2. Okay. Oh man, I gotta say, like the fact that the bounty had no loot and this boss fight had no loot, so we're so low on consumables because we just do not get loot very often. The struggle. It's okay though. I expect it. The bounty's a side thing. I'd make sure I'm well stocked when I do tackle that. Hopefully these side quests have some loot. Anyway, the last thing we can do is the exciting thing. We can spend 7 experience to gain a level 3 assemblage skill, which will buff him tremendously. So, the pessimist, we don't want. That's like okay, but not for our build. I only have 1 magic caster. If I had like more than 1 magic caster, then pessimist would be good. Resonance. I can spend a star to do a follow-up and use an unflipped discipline that costs 1 to 3 SP. Any conditions excluding SP still apply, and this may target a different figure. This would be great for a magic caster, not great for me. The only discipline I have is familiar. I can't recast familiar. So you know, whatever. Exalted Summoning, this is what we want, because we're a summoner. So once per encounter, we get a very powerful ability. And I can use it within my SOI. Otherwise, I would like Helping Hands. An additional consumable and an additional relic. Not that I'm even filled on relics yet. I would also like Friends with Benefits. Gain an extra summoning token and the summon becomes 1 stronger still, which would be really good, but I'm going to prioritize the actual act of summoning as opposed to a powerful single summon, so we now have Exalted Summoning, which means I'm going to keep this stack of cards by me because I can. And actually, since this counts as a summon, I'm just going to separate these cards and leave them in the bag. This way they're not taking up space on the table, so it's less information to load. And I can just read them at any time. They're kind of small, and it seems like I can't increase the size of that. So, I'll do my best to read. That is our 7 experience spent. The next thing to keep in mind, our Tristram Spirit is now buffed. So he does 3 damage instead of 2 for a follow-up. And we have a level 3 summon. So let's find it in these command AI tiles. It's not enslaved, it's a command. This is a Royal Esper level 3. We have unlocked DM, a twin Savani. I guess the 3rd of the Savanis, because we had Ava and Hope. So now we have DM, who might be both combined. I think she's the only one. There's only 1 summon for each level so far. The rest of these are conduit cards. This is the level 4 guy, Agares. Can't wait to get him. Oh, we have Femke too. So we've learned how to do this stuff, which means that summoner has level 3 assemblage skills that we face. So we get them both. When summoning Femke, the summoner also summons DM. The first time each turn Femke would miss with an attack, re-roll the attack roll. She is nimble, and while they're both on the board, they gain backstab and resistance to magic damage. They are fragile, so they have half my HP, which means if I do summon these things, they only have 6 HP at the moment, which I never finished cleanup. It's flip everything. So I only have 12 HP, so they might not be worth summoning over Zulfikar and Elifi. But we shall see. I guess if I play them carefully, they could be really powerful. They both have the same stuff. False Idol, make an attack, it's an exhaust. Brutal Slaughter, when making the third or later attack of a turn, gain +6 physical damage. Slightly weaker than the boss form. Resonance, use Ruination without paying its SP cost. Ruination may target a different figure. Alright. You know, she might be, that might be worth summoning just so I have access to Ruination. I just have to play them really smart, that's all. Also have really good agility and presence. Vigilant, at any time gain provoke 2 until end of turn. She's got a scythe. Quick blow. During the full... Oh, she's got a quick blow. Yeah, okay. So she gets to do what Rook does. And then Spear of Vel. Attack, reach 2, empower. That's her empowered attack. That's not False Idol. So you get a free attack with False Idol. If you attack twice with Spear of Vel, then you can do Brutal Slaughter. But you can do that on the third attack of a turn. Or you can do False Idol, Quick Blow, and then Spear of Vel, Quick Blow, and that only costs 4 SP as well. And you can do Brutal Slaughter for one of those. So that's pretty cool. And then she has Blood Toll. Deal herself 2 irreducible damage to gain 2 SP. Yeah, I don't know how often I would do that. I feel like the next thing I need to do with my guy, if we start getting XP, is maybe... How does this work? Highest level Marshal? Shit. I need HP. Actually, I might not want this. I might want the extra HP, because HP is rounded up. Half of 15 rounded up is 8. It's 7.5, so honestly, I don't think I want to try this out. In fact, I can't afford it. But maybe Rook can use this instead. I know he's the Berserker, I like him having HP, but right now, these girls are very good. So I can have the 6 HP, 11. I'm at 18. Now they have 9 each. That's a big deal. And then Rook can carry this, which means he's down 6 HP. Nowhere near as tanky as he used to be. I'm gonna have to be careful when I'm going out Berserker, but we have 12 defense. Love this song. I think we might try that. Anyway, we'll give them a whirl in the next one, see how they do. I need their figures and stuff. Hold on. I will call it quits here just because I have the urge. I need to use the bathroom, so instead of pausing and doing that, I will get their figures out. I'll get their initiative cards out. I'll find that and their figures, and then their initiative cards should be here, actually. Yeah, FMK and DM. Okay, so we're gonna put these in the bag. We'll get their figures later. You guys have a good one. Thanks for watching. Next time, we'll continue with Chapter 2 and do probably Patrick's Lost Shotgun. I'll just go in order, top to bottom. And try and make some money. Because I'm feeling starved for gold, even with the Looty Booty Pounder getting us a little extra spending cash. Anyway, hope you guys have a good one. Take care out there, and best of luck with your own Middara campaigns, if you guys are also playing along. see you later, maybe.